We are live.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Are we actually live, everybody? Welcome to a Thursday night. That's right. This is Mav's fault. It's Mav's fault. It's all Mav's fault
my
tonight.
bad.
It's not mine. It's Mav's fault as my camera goes out of focus. Sorry, everybody. Welcome to PM in the PM Pog and Mav in the PM. Another Thursday evening. Another week has flown by. Another light week of news. But you know how me and Mav roll. Last week was a light week too, and we still put in 3 hours. So 3+ hours. So buckle up and get ready, everybody. I'm in a pissy mood today. So I had one of those days. I'm just going to let everybody know up front.
Were you in a traffic jam?
I was in that. I was in that also. I didn't mention that, man, because you should know by now what Thursday traffic for me is like. Yes, I was. Again, people just don't want to get home. They really enjoy sitting in traffic with 20 car lengths between each other in the middle of fucking traffic. I don't get. Anyways, so yeah, I had a fun traffic jam, and Xbox is apparently Xbox. We're gonna talk about this, as you guys saw from the thumbnail, has a traffic jam headed their way, coming in the fall and into the winter lineup. And could that affect some things? We're going to talk about it tonight. And again, I'm warning you all up front, kind of in a pissy mood. I might take the entitled gamer route tonight. I might take the selfish gamer route tonight. Not so much the business route, even though you guys will probably hear me talk about that as well. But we're going to talk about that. We got some other things lined up as well. We got more unions being formed. We got a potential, definitely big strike on our hands coming up at midnight here, which could definitely affect games in production. So we're going to talk about that as well. But of course, it is Thursday night, and I am sitting here in the lead chair on the Fun Speculation Network. The Fun Speculation Network is owned, at least 50% of it or so, the other half by the beautiful Miss Caitlin, who did another fantastic job on the thumbnails, as I always give her appreciation. And we had a whole DM full of appreciations this week for her thumbnails as well. Caitlin, go pro. Start doing it. Go pro. Make some money, because you know what the hell you're doing. So, but anyways, another amazing job tonight. But she owns the other half or thereabouts. But let's get to my co-host of the evening, the man of honor every Thursday night. Here on PM in the PM, the one and only Fun Speculation, aka Mav. Mav, I have been seeing you stream a whole lot of gaming, college freaking football. I've seen you have Mav casts, and I saw you and Caitlin hop into some good old Call of Duty that so happened to appear on Game Pass this week. What's going on, brother? How you been?
Yeah, man, I've been streaming more lately because I've been really getting into kind of some of these games, right? College football especially. And I've been having the adventures of Ken Bardu, who is a quarterback.
I saw it. I've been lurking. As I'm going to bed, I've been lurking. So I've seen you.
Playing on all-American difficulty there. And yeah, I'll just say it's been a little bit of a challenge, a little bit of ups and downs. And we're getting ready maybe on Saturday, do another stream where we have transferred officially to SMU. You know,
you went to the portal?
Yeah, I went to the portal. I had it with the Gamecocks, man. You know, the coach making.
Oh,
yeah, the coach making making some bad play calls. The receivers dropping passes. They're other teams' linebackers are better than my receivers. I swear. You know, so
no, you throw better passes to the linebackers. I've been seeing that, sir. Sir, you should hear me yelling at my phone as I'm seeing open wide receivers. I'm going, what the fuck are you looking at, Mav?
I got to keep one eye on the backfield and one eye upfield because I have no time to throw the ball. So
neither do I. Trust me, Arizona State was no better. That offensive line sucked, bro. I've seen you. I know. I feel your pain.
Maybe
I've never thrown fucking 5-6 picks in a fucking game before.
Maybe you're just a better quarterback than I am.
Probably not.
Are you playing an all American?
I'm not anymore. No.
Oh, that's the difference.
No, it's not.
Well, go play.
I'm seeing the same shit you're seeing.
Yeah, but the difference is these fuckers play the ball differently on defense. I'm telling you, go try.
Well, yeah, when you throw in the middle of the fucking field to a linebacker, yeah, they're gonna do that. Jesus Christ.
Oh shit. Yeah,
when you got the open outside wide receiver, Oh God, 1-on-1 and you're missing it. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. Come on, man.
Sometimes
Anyway,
it's
I just gotta give you a hard time. It's no joke. They do
I've been
play,
having
and
a fucking blast though playing.
you're at the mercy of the offensive coordinator. And I told you that when I first started playing. That offensive coordinator's got it. They suck, bro. They suck. I hate them.
I've been playing against like Clemson, LSU, Alabama, fucking Virginia Tech. Like, than I am. Yeah, this has been crazy, dude. But like, Texas A&M, fucking Oklahoma, like it's just crazy. But I made the transfer. Despite the difficulty and the challenges I've had, it's been a blast. I actually like love playing that mode, the way it's built, and it just progresses through quickly and stuff. So I can't wait to keep it going, and I've been having a lot of fun with the chat on the streams. They've been egging me on a little bit and having fun with it, so keeping that going. And we also did dive into Call of Duty last night. We played season 5. This Call of Duty had hit Game Pass also, so maybe there's some new players playing as well. But I played with a few community members. Barq was hanging out with us. Brandon Martin was hanging out with us. RSJ fan was hanging out with us. 3-Bit actually showed up and played, as well as obviously is playing with Kate as well.
Whoa! Yeah, how did that happen? 3-Bit showed up to a game night.
Yeah, we were running 6. If I missed somebody, sorry. My
That's
mind.
Dope,
yeah, but we were having fun, man. And the new maps I really like they have some different takes on some of the maps with like the cell shaded look and stuff, and I actually really dig it because I think the enemies stand out more visually for me. So like it just kind of is clean, and you know, I kind of like it. But anyways, having a lot of fun with that. But yeah, it's been pretty much just college football. When I haven't been playing Road to Glory mode on stream, I've been doing the Ultimate Team challenges and stuff like that. Nice. And it's absolutely fun. Yeah, Calorie. Calorie joined us as well.
Calorie.
Yes.
Calorie.
I knew we were running 6. I was trying to think of everybody that was there. Yeah, Calorie was joining us. So is it, you know, there's a lot of good players playing with us. So but yeah, Call of Duty is great. Can't wait now for Black Ops 6. I kind of got my itch back for that, and college football is so good that now I'm like really amped up for Madden.
Again, response to the Madden trailer.
Yeah, Boom Tech.
Bro, everybody was like, they actually think this is going to be better than college football. Like, I was looking at all the comments, they were just shredding it. They're like, bro, you guys are way behind.
I'm just getting in that football mood. Yeah, so it's like once the season gets kind of getting closer to getting started and stuff, like I traditionally I've been a sports gamer a lot. College football is kind of getting me that that mood again a little bit. So besides that, there's just lots of other things to look forward to. And shout out to also, I've been kind of testing some of the other games that hit Game Pass, right? Not playing a lot of them, but because college football's been my go-to. But Dungeons of Hinterberg.
Yeah.
I started it. I haven't played very much. But I will tell you, just to be honest, between like that and Flintlock, where I played probably about the same amount of both games, right? Okay. Just very, very, very short, just kind of like, how does this grab me instantly, right? How does this grab me, make me want to potentially keep playing this game, right?
Sure.
Dungeons of Hinterberg actually got me more than Flintlock. And surprisingly so, with actually some of the like combat and the fluidity of the controls and stuff. I was not expecting that from a game that looks like Dungeons of Hinterberg. The combat, when they first first come to the first group of enemies and they first start swing the sword or whatever, you're like, okay, this is actually a little bit surprising. I didn't actually expect it to feel this good. So shout out to that game. I am going to be diving into that quite a bit, I think, over time. But other than that, I still, out of all the new games that hit Game Pass recently, Path of the Goddess is the one that it's like I kind of am saving it right now because I want to really savor it when I'm playing it.
Careful, there's gonna be more games coming.
I know, and that's the problem, man. But that's the one that it's like I want to, when I dive into it, I want to like just go deep and just play that game. But college football's got its hooks in me right now. So, but yeah, dude, gaming's glorious. loving playing these games, and
Yeah.
I'll probably keep streaming more. I've been having fun with the community and stuff, so I used to do that quite a bit, but I kind of got away from it just for whatever reason. But yeah, I'll start probably streaming some more here on the channel for college football or Call of Duty, and maybe mix in just like conversational, solo streams and stuff like that also. But yeah, it's been fun, dude. Been a good week.
Nice, brother.
What about you?
Yeah. So start here. I'm back in the First Descendant again. I took a few days off last week, or I should say I took off last week from First Descendant after we cleared normal. Back in the First Descendant. I am grinding for Ultimate Viessa right now. I pretty much have all the components I need except for the blueprints. So now it's a matter of going through, and most of the blueprints, you have to go beat some of the Colossi again, which I've been trying to do, unfortunately, with randos on hard difficulty now. So I am grinding in hard, which has been fun. I still didn't like the hard grind. I actually am enjoying the frick out of hard level. You get much better loot up there, tons of legendary stuff. And the way that team set up grinding and farming is that you can mark whatever you want and it tells you where to go and where to find it. And that makes things so much easier. So been playing a lot more First Descendant than I was the previous week. So I'll get that out of the way because I know everybody's heard enough about the First Descendant. But again, the game is freaking unbelievable. The devs came out and really made some cool decisions. There was a area being exploited for, I believe it was exploitation for Velby, trying to get ultimate Velby. And instead of cracking down on that, like the loot cave and Destiny or so many other things that devs have cracked down on, dev team come out and said, cool, we're going to actually add more areas that give you the same chance. So you guys can go explore other areas too. That's how you keep a game community happy. So they are doing everything right. The game is unbelievable for a free-to-play game. Again, I'm not having any issues grinding for Viessa. Again, the blueprints are going to be tougher for sure. I'm going to have to put some time to get all the blueprints together, the 4 blueprints that I need. But again, getting all the components, I already had a lot of the components just from my first playthrough on normal. So going back and cleaning up and finishing up and getting the amounts that I need was not a problem. But this is the part of looter shooters. And so game's got legs. I think they've got a great base. I can't wait to see where they take it. We got a big August 1st expansion, or I should say patch upcoming. And that's going to be unbelievable. So I can't wait for that. They also buffed some of the characters. Devs came out and buffed some of the characters that people felt were a little bit weak. And they didn't debuff anybody. They didn't nerf anybody. They didn't nerf any guns. They actually went back and buffed a bunch of the fucking guns.
Yeah.
So love this dev team so far. They're doing everything correctly. So been doing that. Then I got to talk about 3 different games here, Mav. So one you talked about last week on Friday. I finally got a chance to play it over the weekend and I DM'd you about it, and that's Tempest Rising. I won't spend too long on it because I know we don't have as many RTS fans, as big of RTS fans as me and Mav are. But I've got to sing this game's praises. Much like Mav, when he first fired it up and played it for a bit, and he DM'd me instantly and goes, "This is Command and Conquer. Holy shit, this is day one for me, bro. We don't even need EA to come back and make Command and Conquer." You know, Mav and I have both been saying that for years. Mav now is just like, yeah, no, we don't need that. I agree. After playing through, I played through the campaign. I forget what the faction's called. Not the New World Order faction, but the actual kind of evil, I guess, in a way, faction. I played through their campaign, their first part of the campaign that they allow you to play through in the demo. This is Command and Conquer. If you love Command and Conquer from back in the day and you've been waiting for a new one and you have PC, go wishlist Tempest Rising right now. Go download the demo and try it out. This is freaking awesome. I did the survey afterwards too, Mav. I don't know if you've actually finished the demo, but there is a survey afterwards. Gave him nothing but praise. I did tell them about the few things that came up, little tiny things that came up in the gameplay that I thought could be a little bit better. Otherwise, I said, thank you for finally making the CNC game that we've been asking for forever. Thank you for this. This is fantastic. So Tempest Rising, is going to be really, I think it's going to be really high on potential for the PC community to get behind and to fall in love with, because there are so many classic CNC fans out there. And this is just a modern day version of that. The story, everything. Like it's crazy, but it is so damn
it's
fun.
Command and Conquer and everything but name, right?
Yep.
Like it just
Everything
might as well Tempest might as well be Tiberium.
Yeah, because you even go collect crystals.
Yeah.
You even go farm crystals for your energy. It's freaking crazy, bro. Yeah. But it's so damn good. It plays well. The strategy, I did tell them that they need to implement, if they can, be able to do formations with your armies, much like Age of Empires. I wanted some formations. Otherwise, it's just a big like a big just glob of, and it's like, oh my, and I know I should be setting up my groups and I should do the formations like that. But I just wish they had a standardized formation that you could put them into, much like Age of Empires. But that was one of my main things that I suggested to them. So yeah, Tempest Rising is that game. Then where do I want to go next? Oh, let's jump into Dungeons of Hinterberg. I've cleared 7 or 8 dungeons in that game now. So yeah, I bet 6 or 7. I don't want to go 8. I think I get 6 or 7 dungeons now. Game is damn good. Shout out to I believe it's a husband and wife team who created it. It's 2-person pretty much dev team. They did a fantastic job. Not everybody it's not going to appeal to everybody because of the art style. I get that. For me, it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. It pops off the OLED. The colors are amazing. The cell shading, comic book style artwork is freaking awesome. There is no voiceovers in this game, so it's which is fine, because the one thing I don't like about this game is the writing. And I understand it's written for a different generation than me. And I'm understanding, again, as I get older, right? More and more games come along where the writing, the story, the characters just aren't for me. But what is king is gameplay. So, and they gave you a fast forward function so you can fast forward through all the stupid nonsense talking.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. Okay. I know I'm only getting part of the game, right? But I'm getting the part of the game that I'm actually enjoying, which is actually exploring the combat. Like Mav said, is really good. It's not complex, right? It's got simple combinations and that kind of stuff, but that is absolutely a blast. There's loot in this game, which is cool. I love looking for new loot. They got armor stats, they got weapon stats, they got all this stuff. It's not, again, Diablo. We're not talking Diablo here. We're not talking anything like that in the first Descendant. We're talking basic stuff, but it's still there and it works. And the thing that really gets me, Mav, is the dungeons themselves. The dungeons themselves are puzzles, and there are puzzles to solve, and they get harder and harder and harder. Enemies, you can also walk into enemies that are above your level. And if you want to try to take them on, you're allowed to take them on. Love when games do that. But the puzzles in the dungeons are very well done. Not so far, like got me stumped, but I've had to take my time in a couple and figure it out. And just to top it off, just a little thing that's super dope. They've got mine carts in the dungeons, and you can hop in the mine carts when you open up certain paths, and it's freaking Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom style mine cart camera view, and it's freaking awesome. They're just they're kind of like just cinematics, although you can kind of lean in your mine cart and stuff, and there's times where you do have to dodge debris on the tracks, but you're flying, and it's cool as hell. I was just smiling. I was like, holy shit, this is awesome. So yeah, shout out to Dungeons of Hinterberg. Game Pass, no risk. Go try it out if you haven't already. If it appeals to you anyway, it is much more quality than a lot of people probably think off the top of it. And it's a little bit deeper than I think people probably would think too, just by the looks of it. And maybe some of you will enjoy the writing and enjoy the characters and enjoy the story. And so that would be a bonus for you. They've got side missions that you do. You build up relationships with the NPCs in town, which give you bonuses and give you upgrades as well. So, and again, it's nothing that you have to pay attention to. I fast forward through everything and I still build my relationships with them. They got gifting for the NPCs, all that kind of stuff. So you can strengthen the relationships. And that all adds to your experience because, again, it's not just simply there to be there. It actually does give you the bonuses in combat and that kind of stuff, which helps out a lot. The game's got magic. Again, some of the magic stuff is really cool. Works really well in combat. So go check out Dungeons and Hinterberg. Like Mav said, it is better than a lot of people, I think, thought up front. When it first dropped, I did see a lot of positivity on X. So I hope people have tried it and continue to try it because it's well worth your time. And then finally, I will end my week with Kunitsu-Gami. Kunitsu-Gami, Path of the Goddess. I told you guys I was sold in 45 minutes from the demo. Didn't need to see any more. Uninstalled it. Was ready to rock and roll day one. Game is simply gorgeous. The game is challenging. The game is a blast to play. I have cleared out 3 of the zones. I have finished rebuilding completely 2 of the towns now. I'm on the 4th zone as we speak, so I have not been like, no lifing it or anything like that. I've been spreading it out amongst all the other games. But this game it's everything I thought it was from the demo, everything I thought it was from the all the trailers we had seen on the lead up to the game, and then some as well. So I've got my archer because for those of you who don't know, as you play through, you open up more classes for the townsfolk that you rescue. So you start with an axeman, you quickly open up archers, and there you start opening up more classes. And you get to decide when you rescue townsfolk for that level who they're going to be. And you could change it at any time as well. That's where the tower defense comes in because you set them up where you want them to be on the levels. I maxed out my archers, right? I spent all my points in my archers and maxed them out with their skills, which is dope. So they fire 2 fire arrows now at a time. I've been having a blast using them. I've also been using the magician who slows down time. And then I've also got the axemen who are basically melee fighters, right? You can upgrade all these. You can upgrade your weapons. There are skills you can upgrade as well or change out that give you bonuses in certain areas. You got to rebuild the towns, which earns you more of the currency in game to be able to do some of this stuff as well. It is Capcom. This is Capcom back to its peak, as we've talked about a billion times, experimenting with a new IP that mixes up a bunch of different genres together and then wraps it up in one of the most artful type of packages I could ever imagine out of a game. Like I said, photo mode, I've posted a bunch of photos for you guys, is absolutely ridiculously so amazingly cool and unique in how they present the game. I love this game. And again, this is probably going to wind up as one of my favorite games of the year. I can tell that already. I'm absolutely loving Kunitsu-Gami, Path of the Goddess. Also have to shout out the music in this game. The drums that we heard in the trailers, the drum music, the classic Eastern style music that is presented in this game during battles and downtime is unbelievable. My first post I made about it, actually, the composer of Kunitsu-Gami liked and retweeted and followed me. And he is straight up Japanese. All of his tweets are Japanese, but what a cool dude. He showed himself joining somebody on the street, or no, in some band, some street band playing the drums in Japan or something like that. The dude gets it. Like, it just fits. Like, the way the mood changes when you get into battle, when the enemies start pouring out the gate, you have a day-night cycle that you have to balance out. The monsters don't come during the daytime. They come out mostly at night. You guys caught that line. And the bosses that you fight at the end of each battle get progressively harder and harder, and more challenging. And that's where the strategy really starts coming in, is when you're fighting the bosses, because each boss is different. Each boss has different weaknesses, and you kind of got to figure out, because the areas that you fight the bosses in are set up differently each time as well. And they all have their unique properties that kind of change the flow of how the combat's going to go. Man, it took me on the 3rd boss, I won't spoil anything, but on the 3rd boss, it took me 5-6 times to beat him. Finally figured out a strategy as I was playing through. I learned each time. And yeah, man, can't say enough good things. Thank you, Capcom, for going back to the Capcom of old, being a massive publisher in 2024, but one who hasn't forgotten how to take risks. Like we've seen so many of these other companies just refuse to take risks anymore. Gotta love Capcom. This throws me back to the 360 era when they were trying a lot of different things and hit on a lot of different things. I hope this franchise does well. I hope we get a continuation of this series because so far it's polished as hell. It is just freakily just a great experience, man, through and through. So love Kunitsu-Gami, Path of the Goddess. Can't wait till Mav starts trying it and so I can get his thoughts on it. But yeah, that's been my week of gaming, man. So I got a little bit of everything and kind of a just a smorgasbord of different things this week. But like you said, Mav, I'm so happy to be a gamer.
That's what this month has been. It's been a smorgasbord, right? It's like
it absolutely has.
If I wanted to, really, I could just play the Tempest Rising demo all month and be completely happy, right? But instead, I put in like 30 minutes, because I'm like, okay, this is fucking Command and Conquer. this is like top of my list now for the year, like right up there with anything else. And like each one of these games, like, oh, I gotta make time to play this. But like, each time I sit down or whatever, it's like I want to play college football right now, or this or that. You're on mute, bro. You disappeared. Your voice is gone. No, can't hear you. Nope. It's when you like went back like this, like your voice disappeared. Nope. Gone. He's coming back. It's if you're on camera or if you're like your camera's not working or nor your mic. Okay. Nope. Oh, there you go. Hold on.
Can you hear? Can hear you if you can hear me? I'm
yeah,
flashing.
I can hear you, but it's coming from the wrong microphone.
Can't hear you.
It's coming from the wrong microphone.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, now I can hear you.
Yeah, I think the cord just must have slightly came unplugged or something.
But everything was frozen, so I don't know what the hell that was. Anyways, sorry about that, folks.
Before we went live, I was having issues too.
Yeah,
like I had to restart like 3 times.
You did, sir. You did. Anyways,
what was I saying? Yeah, it's like
you're talking about how this year. Yeah, smorgasbord and this year and Tempest Rising rose to the top, and that's all I did.
Yeah, like it's like I played of it what I need to right now to know where it sits, and like, but like if I wanted to, I could just play that demo over and over again, and I could be completely happy,
right?
Same thing with like Path of the Goddess. I could sit there and I could probably play that game over and over again for months if I wanted to, and be completely happy. Right, I could dive all into Dungeons of Hinterberg and completely just barrel through that game and be completely content, completely happy. Right, I could just get back hooked into Call of Duty right now if I just really wanted to full force go back, get hooked into that, and be completely happy. It's just there's so many options that are awesome, and there's only one of each of us and so much time to play games. So
that's a fact.
That's the hard thing. That's the hard thing. It's like I feel like I'm betraying myself by playing games that I want to play because I'm not playing the other games I want to play. It's crazy.
Yeah. There's a little bit of that.
Yeah, like sure. My heart is somewhere else, but it's also here.
Right. This is exactly why I held off on buying college football, because I had to be honest with myself. I really wanted that game.
That's why I did buy it, because I was being honest with myself. Like, this is who I am. Right. This is who I am right now.
But those are the decisions you have to make. But you didn't jump into First Descendant like I did, right?
Right.
Those are the trade-offs, right? Those are the trade-offs that we have to make as gamers, because there just isn't enough time. Like, there are days when I see, and shout out to all the communities out there that are like so passionate about one or two games. Shout out to everybody who sits there and plays games like Fallout 76, right? Or Starfield.
5,000 hours in the game. Right. All you do.
And it's their light, like their ESO, any of the Bethesda titles, obviously, but just pick any of the big games. Pick World of Warcraft. I don't care. Diablo. Pick any of that. Those communities make me jealous sometimes, man, because I like totally want like there is times where I totally just want to be like focused on like one or two games.
Yeah, because you appreciate all the little nuances in the games. You discover things you never like. You learn these little things that only the diehard community understands in those games.
Right.
And we've each had those with different games before, you know.
We have, but I always wind up moving on, and I always wind up having any given moment 5 to 12 games or more that I'm currently interested in. But those communities are just freaking awesome, man, because I would love to be able to sit there and just commit to it because I could see myself doing it. But man, I have this divided brain that just always goes, but you're missing out on all this cool shit that just dropped. You're missing out. You gotta go try it. That's why I'm not big on finishing games. I don't care. Like I'd rather if I've already made the choice, but if somebody said, okay, for the rest of your life, all you can do is finish a game and then move on to the next one, or all you can do is graze and never finish games, I would always pick grazing 100 out of 100 times. Why? Because gaming to me is about the experiences that I have in those worlds. And like I said, there are so many different styles of games and so many different worlds out there to experience. I could never see myself just committing 1000%. Maybe when I get older, there'll come a point where I do become that dude who just goes back and plays Starfield nonstop for the rest of his days or something. But for me, it's I'm missing out on all these cool ass worlds. Because again, I would never touch Dungeons of Hinterberg, right? And again, this is also the power of Game Pass nowadays as well. Because not all these games, I would not be grazing all the games I currently am either if I had to buy all of them because I couldn't afford them all. Flat out. I would have to miss out. But that's where Game Pass is beautiful to a person like me, to a gamer like me. And it's just such an amazing time right now to be here and to be in this community and to see so many people doing it so many different ways, but everybody having a blast. And I have been absolutely on a muting frenzy for the past month. Absolute muting frenzy, right? There are people that I think are super cool that I've muted for a variety of reasons, whether it is political posts, whether it is constantly talking about how the gaming world sucks right now and it's bullshit and there's nothing to play. I have muted so many. My timeline is so quiet now. It's unbelievable, man. It is unbelievable. But I just got sick and tired of it, man. I came here to enjoy games and I don't care. Like my Kunitsu-Gami posts, like didn't do shit. I know not a lot of people are interested in that game, but man, I'm going to celebrate the hell out of it, man. And just seeing other people again post old games like retro games or post other shit that they've been playing like Fallout 76 nonstop. I just love all of it along with the new game. Seeing Mav go live and his love for college football, like it is just freaking awesome. The minute I saw you the other night because we had talked about last week that you had kind of made a poor choice in going with a walk-on candidate and not a 5-star. And I see you go live and I'm all tucked in. I got to get to sleep. And I lurk for a bit and I see you went back and made a 5-star quarterback. And I'm like, hell yeah. And then I see his name is Ken Bardu. And I'm like, yeah, let's go Bardu. But just watching you enjoy the hell out of it and watching the people in your chat enjoy the hell out of it. That's what it's all fucking about, man. This is what game is about, man. This is what it is. And I miss a lot of it. I really am starting to miss, and I've gotten, which happens obviously when we've been in this now for what, 4 years, Mav.
Yeah. The channel just had its fourth. I just got a notification that last week that was like 4th anniversary for the channel or whatever.
Yeah. I am to the point of not burnt out at all. I'm just tired. Like it was exciting when the new gen was starting, right? And we had everybody pumped up, right? Just seen so many in this community fall by the wayside, Mav, and turn to just constant, just nonsense. And it just like seeing large parts of the community no longer really have any other goal other than to troll the other side constantly, or to talk about how gaming just absolutely sucks nonstop. I just got tired of it, man. I just got so fucking tired of it. I just can't. That's why I just include them in my frenzy. I was just like, nope, I'm just not doing it anymore. I like you. I podcasted with some of you multiple times. Like cool person. But this is not what I want to see on my freaking timeline, my feed anymore. This is my feed.
Yeah.
So I just started muting everybody. I was like, screw it.
It affects like
it
things over
does.
time, just like constant negativity. It's like, that's what like I don't want to get political, but this is always my least favorite time. Like every 4 years when you get into like this 6 month lead up, right? It's just everything changes. Everybody starts attacking each other and like just going crazy and stuff. And it's like I mute all that stuff as much as I can, because I try and be like, for the most part, as positive as possible and stuff. But like, the negativity is infectious as much as positivity is, right? And I would say even more so, because I think negativity drives a lot of traffic for websites and stuff like that, with gaming as well, for sure. And so you see a lot of these posts, a lot of people talking all the time about all this negative stuff, and it's like, oh, I should be negative about this because these people don't like it, and we got to stand up as gamers and stuff, and really like, and it's like, no, like I'm good, man. Like I'm having fun with this, like my personal enjoyment level is fine. I'm fine with how they're charging for this, or I'm fine with the graphics on it. I'm fine with the way it launched. I'm fine with the updates we're getting. I'm not really like upset about any of this shit. So I'm not going to go and pretend to be just because other people are, right? And then the things that I would be upset about, or like I would think was a big deal that affects everybody, like when games went up in price to $70 originally, or like things like that, or games get canceled, or studios get shut down, or things like that. And it's like, oh, you're not allowed to say anything about those things, right? You're only allowed to nitpick and complain and say every game sucks ass when it comes out. And it's like, fuck.
You're only allowed to root against the other side nonstop.
Yeah, you got to stand on a square.
Bro, I am so I'm so old and past that shit, man. And I've made it publicly known that their former Twitter life before I entered this community, and I deleted my entire account. For years, I was wrapped up in a lot of the political shit and a lot of other things as well. And it actually did affect me. It affected how I was thinking during the day. It affected me emotionally. I knew this year was going to be rough for me just because of that, right? Because I do have strong opinions, but I left that behind. I didn't come to this community to talk politics. Obviously, I came here to talk gaming. So I still have strong opinions, though, and I'm obviously still have that mentality. But I knew this year was going to be rough. I knew it. I knew there was going to come a point where I was going to have to go on a muting spree, and I did. But it's also now included gaming stuff, because I am just being in it for as long as we have been, 4 years of talking about this on a weekly basis, multiple shows, and really, again, we do talk about other things in the gaming industry. We do talk about some of the not good things about the gaming industry. We do criticize from time to time when our opinions are that this requires criticism. But the funny thing is you come to any of our shows here, you come to Living Split Screen, you come to the Shop Podcast, you come to these types of shows, what you do get on a weekly basis and on a show by show basis is gaming talk, and about our passion and our love for what's going on and what we're currently playing and what we're excited for. Like, that has never changed one bit. Whereas there is entire communities built around not talking about games at all. Like, literally not talking about anything they're enjoying, but talking about everything that they hate. And it's tiring, man. It's tiring to see it. And I'm just done with it, man. I stopped listening to shows a long time ago just because I don't have the time anymore either. But obviously I chose to stop going into the dark alleys that Steel will frequent from time to time to go hear what the nonsense is being said out there. Like, Steel tells me in the background, like, what's kind of going on. And I have no clue anymore because I'm like, oh shit, I never would have known that's what they're saying. But yeah, man, it's interesting and fascinating. One of my favorite words, fascinating, to be a part of a community like this, and to be in it for as long as we have, and has met as many freaking amazing people out here as we have that share our passion. But then to get to know stuff, and you get to know how people operate, and you get to see how people operate online. And again, you may never have met them in person, right? So you don't know what they're really like in person, but you can kind of get a feeling for who they are just by how they interact here. And after a while, it's just like, nah, man, I just don't need it anymore, man. I just don't need to see your shit no more on my timeline. So yeah, man, I just want to say that I appreciate everybody that comes out to our shows. It is nothing but love and respect to all of you, because here in our shows, in our chats, you guys join in more so than a ton of other chats that I've been a part of, and actually discussing not only the topics we bring, but you guys discuss topics outside of that. But I see all the time in our chats, people talking about how much they're loving certain games, or telling other people about the games and why they should go play them, and etc. And that's the fucking awesome part about this. That's what I'm here for. At this age, that's what I want. And I love you all for it. And we've cultivated some really amazing communities through all of our shows, and just want to say I appreciate every single one of you. All right, I do.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah, it's like one thing you could like growing a show and a community. There's like two ways you can go about it, right? I feel like if you could care about the numbers and what you think is going to draw the people in, or like what you think is they want to hear, right? And like, oh, hey, let's just like do this, and because it's like gonna be good for the channel, or it's gonna be good for this or that, right? Or you can just say, hey, this is who we are, and this is what we like to talk about, and this is what we do, and then whoever fucks with us over time, they just learn that, and then they stick around, or they don't, and they just like the content, or they don't, right? And I feel like for the most part, like everybody that's like been a part of like our channel and our chat and everything, they just like kind of like that. They just like to hear talk about games and just don't like a bunch of bullshit, like to have fun. Hence the word fun speculation. This is like what it's all about, man. It's fucking video games, right? Yep. So I love having fun talking video games, dude. Like, and some people say sometimes too positive about games, or like defend certain things too much and all this kind of stuff. But
we criticize things too much.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, it depends on that week when the one thing happens. That's a big deal, right?
I always say, man, that's when we know we're doing it right. When you get haters from both sides, when you get people who say opposite things about you, you know you're doing it right. Especially if you're coming from a place of your own truth of what you actually believe, and that's what we've always done.
Yeah,
1000.
Yeah, even if some wouldn't believe it because you're not standing on a square.
Yeah.
Anyway, OCD gamer member for 16 months. Fuck, it's so I see some of these months, like for people that have been members for like so long. There's some that have been over 3 years now, members of the channel. It's absolutely bananas. But OCD gamer member for 16 months. Bardu for Heisman. Ken Bardu is gonna win the Heisman. He's gonna have. I'm telling you, it's a tale of two careers. The South Carolina Gamecocks. Ken Bardu is dead. Now we are going to see the rise, like a phoenix from the ashes, of Ken Bardu, and he is going to have one of the most historic stories ever told in college football history, as he brings SMU back from the death penalty of the 80s and rises them up to national championship contention by his senior year, and goes on to win the Heisman and get picked #1 overall by the Dallas Cowboys to replace Dak Prescott.
This is your plan.
He's going to stay in Dallas. He's going to become an SMU Dallas hero, and he's going to become a Dallas Cowboy. And then after that, guess what? Ken Bardu, he's going to struggle out the gate, because that's just what he does. The first 2 seasons, he's going to struggle. Maybe he's going to throw too many interceptions, but then he's going to move on, and he's going to bring the Cowboys back to Super Bowl glory and have another dynasty. The Cowboys will be the team of the 2030s.
Wonder if you can get Eric Dickerson on the sidelines if you do enough.
Maybe.
That'd be amazing, bro.
Yeah.
They should have shit where former players show up on your sidelines if you guys are having a stellar year. That'd be freaking amazing. Yeah.
Will we wear the shades? We wear the glasses. Yeah.
The goggles. Yeah, I gotta get the goggles. He's ready to get back on the field with Ken Bardu. He's ready to put the pants back on, brother. Talk about dominating film. Old school.
Yeah.
Go watch Eric. Watch
dude. Oh man, this is amazing. Him and Earl Campbell, two of the most fun highlight tapes you'll ever see.
Bro. Their college tape is fucking stupid.
BT Maverick member for 6 months with a $5 super chat says, "Don't sleep on Nobody Wants to Die that just dropped. Randall Thor recommended it and definitely has delivered a great narrative Blade Runner experience. I want to play this game for sure.
I want to play it so bad. Man. There's a couple of these narrative heavy games coming out. What's the other one we're getting Cyberpunk games, which is freaking amazing. We're finally starting to get some Cyberpunk games. But that one, and what's the other one that looks similar to that? They use the same neon style lettering almost, and it's a different one that's also on my radar, and I can't.
Everybody Wants to Die.
Yeah, no, it's not everybody wants to die. But I do want to play No One Wants to Die for sure. Again, I've seen some great things about that, and it seems like up my alley. So definitely want to get that one eventually too. Again, that's why it's Golden Age, man. There's just so many games. Again, if it's not for you, I saw Magnum say Pong would probably hate how I feel about gaming this year. No, I'm not gonna hate it, Magnum. Again, it's not like that. Like, again, you don't have to like everything or think that this is the greatest time ever at all. Again, I can't agree with you, but we'll just agree to disagree. It's video games, man. It's a freaking hobby. It's a passion. It's entertainment. Again, there are plenty of movies and TV shows that everybody's watching now that I have zero interest in, and look at it and go, that's shite. I ain't fucking watching any of this. So again, I'm on the other side as well. So no, it's not an issue, Magnum, if you don't think this year is great. But for me, last year and now this year, and even looking ahead to next year, this is going to be an unprecedented 3-year run of gaming. It's all lining up.
Yeah.
Now, again, strike, we'll see how much it affects things. We'll talk about it in a little bit. But I think we're in for an unprecedented 3 years of gaming, just across the board. No matter what genre you like, you are getting it, right? You are getting something out of these years, which hasn't always been the case. So, man, we got so many new studios popping up that are doing great things too. Oh my God, there's just so much talent out there right now. Anyways, everybody, hey, Steel, I see you in here. We're about to shout out the chat. Perfect timing, brother.
Steel.
Perfect timing.
Who has, I saw his post. He has turned completely around on Marvel Rivals.
Yes, and Steel, get ready on Saturday, because I got some questions for you, brother. We're gonna have a little discussion. No, actually, I know why he turned on Marvel Rivals.
Because it's a hero shooter and it does the typical hero shooter stuff.
No, because he
hates having to depend on weak ass teammates like me. Right. If I were to play with him, and because
he must play ranked. Steel must play ranked.
He must play hardcore.
And if he does not have a team, right, of people that he knows that he can play with, and he plays with randos, it always ruins the experience. We're going to talk about that Saturday, because it's completely like, I got to start digging. Well, you know what? It's because I've been around Steel for so long and talked to him so much. I get it. And I wasn't surprised when he made that post, because I saw his post initially where he was really excited and he was really enjoying himself. But I was not actually surprised when I saw the flip post say, nope, done. This is exactly why I don't play hero shooters. I went into ranked randos. I was like, I could have seen that coming, but we're going to talk about it. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun on Saturday, because I want to deep dive his brain a little bit and get down to some psychology of why this happens to him. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Anyways, he could be his Iron Man, and he's still gonna not play it.
And he loved it, and he loved Venom. He loved everything, how they were playing. Like, he loved it. Yeah. But I was gonna say, for me, watching some of his footage, and I didn't get to watch all of his playthroughs, but watching it, I'm still excited for it.
Yeah, I was watching too. I was like, this actually looks better than I thought it was gonna be.
Yes, it looks fun as fuck. I'm like, yo, this looks cool. Plus, if you guys didn't know, the devs also came out and said that all the characters are going to be able to be opened. You're not going to have to pay for any character. So all the characters, they're not going to have any monetization and locking characters behind any paywall. You get the characters, you can earn all the characters. There's nothing there. The only monetization they're going to have is cosmetics. So another great decision, and this is a free-to-play game. Remember, folks, this isn't Concord for $40. We might talk a little bit about Concord and what the devs came out and said about Concord, but this is a totally free-to-play game. So that is already a win in my book for sure. And I saw 3-Bit put a post about that too and put W, and I got to agree. So I can't wait to jump into that game. That game does look, can't wait. Let's get this chat shouted out here. We'll get the show on the road here. We are already an hour in, had some great early discussions about gaming and about the community a little bit and about things going on. Love you all for being here on a Thursday night, joining me and Mav on PM in the PM. Let's go. Let's shout out Caitlin, the beautiful Miss Caitlin's in here. We will meet Papa Pongy eventually. Yes, you guys will eventually. That is going to happen at some point. We're going to meet Steel. We're going to get the whole crew together. We're going to do something because that is going to happen down the road. We have to. Who else is in here? I see OCD Gamer, of course. We got the Ninja Squirrel 30. Says, is there a fun speculation community Discord channel with an LFG section? Mav and Pong. We should have a let's fucking go section. BT Maverick, what is going on? Great to see you in here. We got the Nam Omar in here. Of course, we got the brother from another steel, Rain, as I already said in here. We got the Bold Alpha Wolf Pack. I'm still adding the pack in there, Bold Alpha Wolf. I don't care if you removed it or not. Who else we got in here? We got the I already said OCD Gamer. You get a double shout out, OCD Gamer. Love you, man. Thanks for being here. We got the Delroy in the house. What's up, Delroy? Great to see you, sir. Thank you for all the support too, Delroy. Appreciate you so much. We got the Angry Hippie dropping at $2 super chat. Says Birds fan here. Keep on dreaming, Mav. Oh God, an Eagles.
What are you gonna do now that Kelsey's gone? Your tush push is gone. Your 3rd and 1s, your 4th and 1s, you're going to have to do it like the rest of the NFL now. You got to figure that out. You're going to figure out have to get a yard without Kelsey pulling that play out of his ass, figuring out how to do something the rest of the NFL can't.
Oh, my God. I knew it was coming. Decado is in the house. What's up, Decado? Great to see you, brother. The Poison Maniac already shouted you out, but you get a double too. The Brandon Martin came in with the $2 super chat and says, Pong, we got to get you to play NW3. Join Ken Bardu. I played a lot of MW3 when it first dropped. I paid full price for that. The Ultimate Edition, in fact, I also gave them money on top of it and bought a Black Cell cosmetic for my Android girl because I loved her look.
Yeah.
Dope as. So yes, I've spent my time in NW3. That is the thing about Call of Duty too. I will spend my time in it, but then I just uninstall and I just don't go back to it again. So, again, it's where do I want to spend my time? And it's very limited. It's even got more limited now because of my schedule, but maybe at some point we'll be back in NW3 for a little bit. Who else we got in here? We got Marty McFly coming in here with the yo to you, Marty McFly. Who else we got in here? We got the Spartan 661. What's up, Spartan? Great to see you as always, sir. Thank you for joining us. We got the legendary Web Dave in the house. What's going on, Web Dave? Great to see you, brother. Thank you for being a part of the show as always. We got It's Timmy. It's Timmy's in here. What's going on? It's Timmy. Thank you, sir, for dropping in early and saying hi to everybody. Appreciate you so much. We got the Razor Ultron in here. What's going on, Razor Ultron? Razor Ultron asks an important question here, Mav, to you. Why would you want Jerry Jones to ruin his career? He would do better on the Eagles.
To ruin whose career? Jerry Jones? Is it? Or
Kim Bardu.
Oh, Kim Bardu? Oh.
Yeah. He said he was going to the Cowboys to replace Daz.
Well,
Dak.
I'm thinking by the time Kim Bardu is actually pro, Jerry Jones is what, going to be like 80 something at that point? Maybe he'll let the team move on to somebody else. There was random rumors of him selling the team to Saudi Arabia. That was like just an unfounded like thing that some guy on a podcast said.
They buy into the NFL. Holy shit.
But yeah, we I don't know, man. I think Kim Bardu, he might be the answer for the Dallas Cowboys. I think so.
I wonder if they'll ever put that in now that college football is back where you can take your player pro.
Oh, they got to.
They have to.
I noticed, right? Dude, shout out to EA for this. Okay, because they sometimes they have some pretty sweet deals on like the storefronts for like people that play multiple games or both games. But I was just looking through because I was looking at the Ultimate Game Sale, and then I noticed this Just For You deal on college football, and they have a bundle for both deluxe editions.
Yeah, I saw that.
So it's like both $100 editions you can get for $150, which is $50 off, right? Yeah. It's not a bad deal. So if I decide to get Madden, which I am going to, it would cost me $80 at that point above what I already paid,
right,
to get both deluxe editions, because I just got the standard edition. So I'd get the upgrade plus Madden. Considering it, but I don't really know too much about what the difference is with the deluxe edition, besides maybe Ultimate Team Packs and stuff like that.
Yeah, you get some points. You get some points in the Ultimate Team Pack. Yeah, it's not a bad deal though. I mean, if you're one of those people that are going to buy both of them, you get the deals where you can.
Yeah, right? You get two games. That's $50 off of $200. It's a pretty sweet deal. So.
True Serum's in the house. What up? True Serum says 33 interceptions. He must be making a prediction on Bardu, or is that what you wound up with, Matt?
No, I broke the record. I got more than that. Yeah, I don't know what the final tally was. But my second season was rough, dude. I don't know. So I fell apart. But like those receivers were dropping passes. There was some ridiculous interceptions. Like. I had a chance to actually beat Alabama. I was like really with them and stuff. We were leading, and then I threw this, like, we were in position to take the lead. I threw this like pass to this route that should have been open. The corner made this diving interception right in front of the receiver in the goal line, and I'm like, oh my god, like what am I supposed to do? And then after that happened, I got sacked almost instantly and fumbled. And then and they scored a touchdown, and then we got the ball back again, and then like within a second of me snapping the ball, I got sacked again and fumbled, and they scored another touchdown. So it went from us taking the lead to giving up two touchdowns, three touchdowns, because they scored after the interception also. Bullshit, absolute horse shit. But it's all me. It's all on Ken Bardu, I guess.
It's all on Ken Bardu. I gotta ask this other question too, Matt, because I gotta know, because it was infuriating me when I first started watching. Now maybe you figured it out, but when I first started lurking, you kept getting so confused as to why you were getting the ball back.
No, I know that it just speeds up and you get the ball back.
Right, but you're like, this doesn't make any sense. Why we got the ball back? What happened? That was like one of the first nights.
Because sometimes, right? So sometimes it'll be like 4th and 2.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And then but it'll be like we'll be on the 20-yard line. Okay. Yes. Oh, you expect us? We're gonna kick a field goal, or like, are we gonna go for it? Or if it's like or let's say we're on the 39, you're in no man's land.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So are we gonna punt? We kick field goal. It's like 4th and 2. Right. You're out of the game. And all of a sudden you skip forward and you have the ball back close to that same position.
Yes. Because they stopped them or got an interception or whatever, or there was a fumble.
Right.
Or whatever. And you can go in and look at the play.
Yeah, I would need to go and look and see, but like it's those times. I'm like, what happened? Did we do a fake field goal? Did we do a fake punt? Like what happened? But somehow like almost no time has passed and it was 4th down. And now we're in the same position or even slightly better, right?
It was like the first night I was watching you though, and you kept looking at when it was 4th down and like Ken Bardu's walking off the field, as they show the walking off the field talking or whatever else. Yeah. It's 4th down, you're gonna do whatever, and you would turn and watch the chat, and you would read some chat or you talk to the chat, and then you come back, you'd be like, "How'd we get here? What happened?" And I'm like, dude. They showed you in between. You just missed it because it goes so fast.
It does go really fast. But the funny, did you see as the second stream I did with Kim Bardu, and it was this was the game after my like 7 interception game. So this was the game.
Who were you playing against?
This game I'm talking about is LSU.
Okay, I saw probably a little bit of the LSU game. I know for a fact I watched part of the LSU.
So
game,
there was two LSU games.
Your defense was kicking fucking ass, by the way.
I was.
My Arizona State defense sucked whenever I played big teams. Your Gamecocks, they held LSU like 4 straight times with no points.
Yeah. That was a close point. It was
crazy.
Close. Yeah. It was a very close game.
Yeah.
But before the game, it was fun. It was funny because Ken Bardu was walking on with LSU. Instead of South Carolina.
I did hear you say that. I had just turned you on. And you were like, "Wait, was that Ken Bardu celebrating with
there
LSU?"
Was an LSU like doing, that they go like this, with each other, their arms around each other, getting ready to run on the field and stuff. And like Ken Bardu's sitting there with. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Is that Ken Bardu? That's why he's so confused. He doesn't know what fucking team he's on.
He was wanting to be on LSU so bad. He was like, "Fuck, I need to be over on this team."
I could have when I transferred. I had to pick.
You would have to battle for starting spot though.
No, they offered it to me. Yeah, really? I could have went to Ohio State, LSU, Alabama, everybody.
All of them were starting positions.
Everybody, I went look. Everybody wanted Bardu. Everybody wanted Bardu, man.
Well, they were like, maybe you were right now.
This guy saw an electrifying quarterback. Sucks. They saw what I saw. Had shitty receivers and a shitty coach.
Ignore the unforced turnovers.
Right.
And he is a fucking Hall of Fame quarterback.
Absolutely. He just got to get in the right system. He's a system quarterback, right? So, he's going to develop into more of a pro quarterback. But, at this moment in time, he's still learning, put in some bad situations.
Oh, it's good shit, bro. Oh, it's good shit. I can't hear how SMU goes. What else we got? We got the Wilfrey Rosario in here. What's up, Wilfrey Rosario? He says this is one of the channels that is actually about gaming and games conversation. Appreciate that, Wilfrey. Yes, we do definitely focus on that, man. None of the nonsense, or at least we keep the nonsense to limits. Who else we got in here? I know some more amazing. The Herd Theorem's in here. What's up, Herd Theorem? He said, Pong, you are saying you don't want to hear about my manscaping injuries anymore. No, sir. I do not need to hear about your manscaping injuries. Gotta be careful. They have sharp razors. That ain't no joke. Especially down that way. The Magnum is in the house. What's up, Magnum? Great to see you in here. We got the Cyber Gunter in the house, one of the OGs. He's one of the first people I met in this community too when I was in everybody's chats back in the day, because he was too. Cyber, great to see you, sir. And again, congratulations on being engaged, sir.
Oh, he's engaged now?
Yeah, I'm glad he posted that, I think, last month.
Oh, okay.
Really found the love of your life. Yeah. Who else we got in here? We got the one and only 3-Bit is in here. What's up, 3-Bit? Great to see you, brother. As always, we got the Nathan Hardman in the house. What's up, Nathan? Great to see you. We got the Joey in the house, the one and only Phantom Kraken. Says exhausting. Yeah, I agree, Joey. It is 100%. But great to see you in here, brother. Appreciate you so much. Let me see here. Who else we got in here? We got the Anonymous Boss in the house. What's up, Anonymous? Great to see you as always, brother. We got the FarQ in here. What's going on, FarQ? Great to see you as always being a part of the show. We got the E-Ranks in here. What's up, E-Ranks? Great to see you in here. It says there's so much drama because the world knows Bardu should have been benched weeks ago.
What?
E-Ranks giving you the shit. Let's go.
I mean, it has nothing to do with the fact that there's a Bardu library on campus.
Oh, Jesus. Not anymore. They burn that sucker down when you transfer.
Dad. Thanks for
We got the Beer Baron in the house. What's up, Beer Baron? Great to see you as always, sir. Who else we got in here? Dun, dun, dun. Keep going. Stash Gordon, I see you in here. What's up, Stash? Always great to have you part of the show. We got the Stalker UAV-1. Hope you're not stalking my house with that UAV there. It's Skywalker. Excuse me, not Stalker. Skywalker UAV-1. Not Stalker. Good. Skywalker. Good. Great to see you. We got Why So Serious. Jumped in here very early. We got the Jigga J in the house, of course, as always. Great to see you, brother. We got the RSJ Fan in the house. Great to see you, my friend. Thank you for being a part of the show. As always, got the Brett Bingham in the house. What's up, Brett Bingham? Great to see you, brother, as always. Who else? See if I got anybody else up here. My God, you guys are crazy. Night Turtle's in the house. What's up, Night Turtle? Great to see you. Got Oscar, Emilio, A. Gonzalez. What's going on, Oscar? Man, it's no better than having that full name in there. I wonder what the A stands for. Oscar, if you're hanging around, what's the A stand for, sir? Andrew Cullinane is in the house. What's up, Andrew? Hey, now I just pulled a darn tick off my damn tick. You can use damn around here, Cullinane. Damn tick off my leg. Better not be allergic to meat now. Oh God, that's one of the worst things ever, man. Hell no. One of the worst allergies you can get from ticks now. And I wonder where they created that. Never mind. Who else we got in here? We got Buzz in the house. What's up, Buzz? Be right back. Quick run for a DQ Blizzard. Jesus, make that 2. I am jealous, sir. I am jealous. DQ Blizzards are freaking amazing still. Yeah. So good. So good. Who else we got in here? Anybody else that I missed? Scrolling up. Mano Bueno. What's going on? He says Zeke still got some left in the tank. Man, Zeke was damn good in his prime, but he's another one of those backs that just wears down, man. He put in a lot of work. Yeah. Sin, what is going on, Sin? Yeah, there's it says, is there some new strike going on with acting talent? Yes, Sin, we are going to talk about it. That was announced. They're going on strike at midnight, supposedly. So that came out today. We are going to talk about that. And I think I've got everybody in here. All right. Thank you all for being here. Again, nothing but love and respect to all of these familiar faces that come out each and every time to multiple shows each week, not just here on the Fun Speculation Network, but all over the place. Thank you all. Again, that's a big part of this community and why I love you all. So thank you for being here. All right, Mav, let's get down to business. Let's talk some topics here, sir. We'll save the main crux here for a little bit. So let's get into some other stuff real quick. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about the news that broke today. So SAG-AFTRA, the video game voice performance actors are going on strike at midnight tonight. According to Stephen Totillo, because they did release an official statement as well, basically over AI. Quote, we're not going to consent to a contract that allows companies to abuse AI to the detriment of our members. Enough is enough. And that was from the president, Fran Drescher. Shout out to Fran Drescher.
The nanny. That
is correct. She was amazing. Let's see here. So, I'll read the official statement real quick here, that they put out. SAG-AFTRA members who work on video games go on strike. AI protections remain the sticking point. SAG-AFTRA National Executive Director and Chief Negotiator Duncan Crabtree, Ireland, acting under the authority delegated by the SAG-AFTRA National Board and with the unanimous advice and counsel of the Interactive Media Agreement Negotiation Community, called a strike of the Interactive Media Agreement effective July 26th at 12:01 a.m. Today's vote to strike comes after more than a year and a half of negotiations without a deal. The convenience bargaining group with whom SAG-AFTRA is negotiating includes Activision Productions Incorporated, Blindlight LLC, Disney Character Voices Incorporated, Electronic Arts Production Incorporated, Formosa Interactive LLC, Insomniac Games Incorporated, Llama Productions LLC, Take-Two Productions Incorporated, VoiceWorks Productions Incorporated, and WB Games Incorporated. Any game looking to employ SAG-AFTRA talent to perform covered work must sign on to the new tiered budget independent interactive media agreement. Jesus Christ, man, these names. The interim interactive media agreement or the interim interactive localization agreement. These agreements offer critical AI protections for its members. Negotiations began in October 2022, and on September 24, 2023, SAG-AFTRA members approved a video game strike authorization with a 98.32% yes vote. Although agreements have been reached on many issues important to SAG-AFTRA members, the employers refuse to plainly affirm in clear and enforceable language that they will protect all performers covered by this contract in their AI language. Quote, we're not going to consent to a contract that allows companies to abuse AI to the detriment of our members. Enough is enough. When these companies get serious about offering an agreement our members can live and work with, we will be here ready to negotiate, stated SAG-AFTRA President Fran Drescher. All right, so that was the full statement that they released. And this comes on the heels, obviously, SAG-AFTRA being a huge union. We started talking about how Bethesda got unionized. We're going to talk a little bit, probably in a short bit here, about Blizzard, just massive unionization of Blizzard, specifically the World of Warcraft people. This is what unions allow you to do. And obviously we've heard about a lot of this. What the actors went on strike, was it last year or the year before? I can't remember when the actors went on strike.
Yeah, there was the actors and a writer's strike.
Yep, and a writer's strike. That is correct. The writer's strike too also happened. So this is what unions give you the ability to do when you feel like there's something unfair. This also relates to a lot of the AI talk we had for the past couple of years, Matt, when AI started coming up, where we talked about some of the obvious ways that these big companies, and you heard some of the names that are included in this, it's everybody that's big, right? Including Activision, Take-Two, etc., WB, everybody. That obviously business being business, big business being even more big business, they don't give two shits about anybody when it comes to the board members and the top of the heap, that they could abuse AI. And that there could be instances where obviously, people are going to be affected. We started seeing AI mimicking just a couple years ago, and it's gotten even better. Different performing artists with songs, raps, whatever, and it's almost indistinguishable from the real stuff. People making up entire new songs sung by somebody famous, performed by somebody famous that never agreed to do it. Obviously, the actors are a big part of this now, too, because we know some of these companies would love nothing better than to go ahead and replace actors with AI if they could, and use their voices or voice likeness in games and still get that top quality recognition that people have for certain actors. And when you know them, again, I'm not one of those people that pays a lot of attention to actors in video games. I don't get really wrapped up in all that stuff, but there are tons of people out there that obviously do recognize certain actors, whether it's in anime, cartoons, video games, etc., just by their voice alone. And so this is a big deal, man. This is a big deal. And I do agree, right, that this should be something that it should be of a concern. And not even necessarily the top talent, but think about how big of an advantage this would be for someone like the small, getting rid of the small talent, not having to pay small talent and just have AI take over all the really small roles, right, in video games. Very easy to do, right? People that are just trying to get a break into voice acting, that don't have a name for themselves, would be they would never get a shot, because these companies would just use AI, and then slowly but surely they would continue to use that AI, in my opinion, to take away bigger and bigger talent, because it's cheap. It's cheap labor. It's free. Okay. Outside the cost of the program, it's free. So I think they have every right to go ahead and try to get these protections, and protect their futures as well. So that, again, let's say a voice actor, a famous voice, let's say Troy Baker, unfortunately passes away early. What are the protections for the future for his family that somebody doesn't come along and just use his AI voice to continue to make games and never pay the family? That's something that everybody has to think about. Actors have to start thinking about their likenesses now, because again, everything is getting so good that we're only 5 to 10 years away from it getting really to the point where it's like indistinguishable, that you're going to have software specifically developed, and it's already happening, to detect this stuff. But who knows? It might get to the point where that's near impossible as well, because some of the stuff I've seen is crazy. So, Mav, what's your opinion on SAG-AFTRA going on strike? Good news, good thing for them to do at this point. Again, and what are your thoughts? Do you think we're going to see? I mean, it's going to depend how long this goes for. But if this goes on like the writers' strike, could you see this delaying some of the future games, down the road that are still in production, mid-production, that haven't finished the voiceovers? Yeah. Could we see some of those delays come, maybe late next year or into 2026, where the games just aren't ready to be shipped anymore because they didn't have the voice actors?
You'll see the AAA games start to have the indie game stuff like.
We made the artistic decision, Mav, to go without voiceovers. Marcus Phoenix.
Yeah. Dom.
Oh my god. Imagine. Yeah.
The locust.
Oh my god, it'd be so awful. Oh, Jesus.
my first thought was like the games that are kind of coming sooner. Like, is there any effect on those? Like you're on mute again. You disappear. Oh, now you're back. I don't know. I saw
wire. I'm gonna have to buy a new wire.
I saw your lips moving, but nothing was coming out of your mouth.
Okay, all right.
No, it's good. So yeah, I'm wondering, like, overall, the impact to the games. Like Indiana Jones. Troy Baker's the voice of Indiana Jones. That's slated to come out like in probably December, right? So if that happens, like, what is the impact there? Is he already done? Even if he isn't already done, is he allowed to work on it still because he's already under contract for an existing agreement? Like, I don't know all the ins and outs of this kind of stuff, you know, so I don't know what the overall impact's gonna be. I think that ultimately is, in the long run, the good thing for the actors and for the industry to just kind of protect the workers and all that kind of stuff, you know. It gets annoying that these things end up even having to take place, right? In all these industries. I mean, this happens in numerous industries, right? But that is the power of the unions, right? This is why you're seeing it spread into gaming more with all these different departments and different teams now and stuff, because these people are, I think AI is honestly a big part of it. I think people are starting to see the writing on the wall and like, hey, let's make sure we protect the future of the jobs and the careers here. And shout out to them for doing what they can. But I think AI is still going to be a part of things going forward as well. So it's going to be kind of like finding what the middle ground is. This is going to be like a big exploration experiment over the next decade, really, into this technology and then also with talent. Because yeah, you don't want to replace actual real individual talent with computers, right? But then also, like, you can't ignore the benefits that computers provide and can help with in advancing the technology and making things better, right? So that's kind of where I think we're at. I think the impact will probably not be as significant. I think that probably the industry will end up kind of backing off and accepting whatever that is, because that's the right thing to do in this situation, right? And I think ultimately that's what's gonna happen. Who knows what the language is going to be determined as? But you're gonna see this kind of thing going with different industries and stuff for a while now, as people navigate this kind of new technology that's kind of invading the workspace, right? So, yeah, it's interesting now because Microsoft kind of set the precedent that unions and big tech is a thing, and now you're seeing that spread too. So, we'll see what happens in the future if there's some kind of AI strikes against AI from different departments of teams and game companies and all that kind of stuff. That's the one side of it. Like with the unions, like you could actually majorly impact production and companies and businesses and stuff, and that gives them the power, right? So it's going to be, I think, it's just going to be interesting. Overall, I think this is probably settled quicker than some of the other things that we've dealt with. At least that's what my hope is.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't seem like it's as much about money. It's just about this, right?
Yeah. It's just, you know, again, how stubborn the big corporations want to be with the stuff. And again, because they see AI as cheap labor. Again, they know it. They've talked about it time and time again as we've led up through this kind of blow up of AI, of how they are envisioning be able to use AI at all levels of development and all that kind of stuff. to speed up the process. But again, at the end of the day, we know it's all about the dollars, whether you like it or not, it is. And I agree with the people who say, innovation is going to continue. Tech is going to continue forward. Yes, I said that a long time ago. I have mixed feelings on AI and some of the different things that they've done with it and where it's going. I see pitfalls. I see greatness. But ultimately, the genie's out of the bottle. And nobody's going to put this thing back. And the company's going to look for any little loopholes that they possibly can to use AI in place of real human beings. And that goes across all industries. It's not just here. It's just obviously a much bigger play in the tech industry because obviously the AI plays an important role there, but it's going to start happening across all industries and has in certain areas. So this is going to be an ongoing issue. There's going to be more strikes in more places, probably over AI stuff as we go forward. There's going to be more legislation for and against AI and protecting people from deep fakes as we go forward. And it's going to wind up eventually even being the common person on the street. Somebody gets a picture of you, doesn't like you, and makes that picture turn into an entire video of you ranting and being a terrible person. And there's going to have to be protections for that stuff. There's going to have to be stuff in place that is going to prevent or at least cause people to think twice before they do something like that, because that's how good it's going to be. And it's going to be commonplace and available to everybody. So, when we move into these new places and these new eras of tech, there is a lot of scary unknowns to it. There is a lot of what ifs to it. And you have to think big because everything that we didn't even think was possible just a year ago is now becoming possible. I watched a program the other day, an AI program, take Polaroid pictures, Mav, of family members that have been deceased for years and bring them to life in the pictures and give them full motion of hugging like their grandkids that are now grown up. Like, and it looks freaking unbelievable. And it's early. Like, this is the infancy stage of AI. So just imagine 5, 10, 20 years.
Have you seen the one, like Kate showed me this, was like really weird and creepy. It was actors with their younger selves.
Yes, hugging themselves.
Yeah. It was like,
first of all,
creepy.
The positions were weird.
Like you see like them embracing themselves. And stuff. I'm like, what the fuck is going on right here? But like, anyway, it was just it was just trippy.
Trippy,
dude.
Yeah. So there's gonna be ongoing conversations about where we go with this and how we protect everybody, including just us, the normal folk too, because again, it's gonna start affecting us. And how this all works out. But obviously, again, here in this moment in time, the actors, the performers across in any way, shape, or form, whether it's music or movies or video games or whatever it is, really need to start thinking about it, because this is going to impact them greatly without any type of protections or any kind of say in how they are used. And that's the part where you got to worry. Because these big companies don't give two shits. I'm sorry. They don't. They don't at all. They will find any way possible to gain any leverage and use any advantage. And that includes meaning using things that they shouldn't without permission just to do it. So we got to get the stuff in place. So if this is what they feel they need to do because these companies aren't giving them clear language, more power to them. Because if companies aren't giving them clear language, they are obviously keeping things out for a very specific reason to try to find workarounds. That is common sense. So try to get specific language that you need to see to feel protected before you sign anything. But as a gamer, does it suck to think about that some of this stuff could impact? GTA 6 is going to be delayed, right? They got a ton of performers in GTA 6, ton of actors always involved in GTA games. Strauss said last year when they asked him about this potential of this strike, because like it said in the article in the press release, they've been working on this for a long time. Strauss actually was asked last year and he said, no, we're protected from any strike. Is he telling the truth? Right? Is he telling the truth, or would this potentially?
Well, we'll see if the GTA characters.
Right. You just got Strauss doing all the characters.
Yeah.
Strauss's voice.
I am a criminal.
It'd be so bad. Anyways,
give me all your money.
Right? Exactly. Let's see here. Where do we want to go next? Well, let's talk about the other happenings this week then, Mav. We'll get the business side of things out of the way too. So let me see. Posted everything. I actually had time to post because Mav was late today, so I got everything posted in there that we needed to. So this is coming from The Verge, Mr. Tom Warren, of course. Love him or hate him, don't matter. I'll still use his articles when I can. Put out a tweet this week, and this was on top of everybody else putting it out, but he put out an article too. World of Warcraft workers at Microsoft-owned Blizzard have voted to unionize. Over 500 employees have organized across multiple departments, creating the first wall-to-wall union of its kind at the studio. Goes on to say more than 500 developers at Blizzard Entertainment who work on World of Warcraft have voted to form a union. The World of Warcraft Game Makers Guild formed with the assistance of the Communication Workers of America. Remember, that was a big proponent of the ABK deal because Microsoft went to CWA and said, we're not going to stand in unions' ways. Your people could be represented if you want to allow this deal to go through. And they put out a big letter to the government saying, hey, we're all for this. It's going to help the workers and all this kind of stuff. Well, proof's in the pudding. Here it is composed of employees across every department, including designers, engineers, artists, producers, and more. Together, they have formed the largest wall-to-wall union, or a union inclusive of multiple departments and disciplines at Microsoft. This news comes less than a week after the formation of the Bethesda Game Studio Union, which at the time of announcement was itself the largest wall-to-wall Microsoft union. In a statement emailed to The Verge, Microsoft spokesperson Delaney Simmons wrote, we continue to support our employees' rights to choose how they are represented in the workplace, and we will engage in good faith negotiations with the CWA as we work towards a collective bargaining agreement, end quote. These unions represent a major shift in video game union organization strategy, and The Verge spoke to two members of Blizzard's organization community about how this union came to be and the challenges of organizing such a large and comprehensive group. Catherine Friesen, a quest designer on the World of Warcraft team, spoke about how the impetus for the union came out of the desire to uphold one of Blizzard's company values, quote, every voice matters, end quote. You can, quote, you can tell just by talking to people how much they care about one another and the work that they do in the game, Friesen said. I think that that's where the unionization effort comes from, the desire to stand together to fight for our collective bargaining rights at the table, end quote. Paul Cox, senior Quest designer and Blizzard veteran, agreed, saying that the company's response to the state of California's discrimination lawsuit spurred employee action. Quote, a lot of the early responses felt very corporate and didn't feel like they reflected the values that as a company we said we upheld, end quote, Cox said. As a result, the employees at Blizzard took action with walkouts, which became the beginning of unionization efforts at the company. The World of Warcraft Game Makers Guild is made up of over 500 members across Blizzard offices in California and Massachusetts. Despite its size, it is the second largest union at Microsoft overall, behind Activision's 600-member QA union. Quality assurance, for anybody who doesn't remember what QA stands for. Cox said that Microsoft's labor neutrality agreement helped get the organization ball rolling. Quote, we were able to come out into the open about it, and everybody was able to see that no retaliation was occurring, end quote, he said. With organization efforts out in the open, including CWA tents on Blizzard campuses, Friesen said that the getting people across all the different departments was made simpler too. I'll end it there. It goes on with some more quotes and that kind of stuff, but we get the picture. Said all along, Mav, we talked about this. This is going to be again, unions cut both ways. It's part of a union family. Talked about it in the past. I know unions can be good. I know unions can be bad. Tons of politics, money involved. Don't let anybody ever fool you. There's a lot of dirty stuff in unions as well. They protect the bad people as much as they protect the good people. So, be careful what you wish for. It's not always greener on the other side, but I agree that the option for people to make that choice, if they wish to choose a union, should be available to them. Understanding the simple fact is that big business ain't nice guys either, right? As we've talked about time and time again. But really what this was about was Microsoft being one of the 2 largest companies in the entire world in a sector, the tech industry, that has been highly resilient to unionization. In fact, hostile towards unionization, not just at Microsoft, but across the tech industry, not just video games, but everywhere. That Microsoft was opening up a door with the deals that they cut prior to the ABK acquisition happening with the CWA and others, making it clear that they would not stand in the way of this, that they were opening the door. They were cracking the door in an industry that has not wanted this to happen in for a very, 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 very long time. So now Microsoft, a lot of people didn't believe they were going to do this, Mav. A lot of people thought it was all just talk for the courts, that they were going to be underhanded about this, that they were faking it, that they would eventually wind up pushing back against the unionization of their employees. But here we are, man. Bethesda just did it with 200 people, over 200 people. Activision got that 600 QA team. I think that was in between the acquisition period, but Microsoft's, I believe that happened during the acquisition. And Microsoft came out with a statement and said, yeah, we will recognize them if this acquisition goes through. If I remember the timeline correctly, I think that's what happened. Now you got World of Warcraft, 500 people plus in a union as well. And Microsoft is like, hey, we're going to come to the table. We will bargain in good faith. So proof's in the pudding. Microsoft is living up to what they agreed to do. And I think it is a big deal for the workers who want to go this route.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see ultimately like what they accomplish as a union and like what kind of benefits or advantages they gain over versus not being in the union and all that. Over time, we'll see kind of how this affects game development. We'll see how it affects other factors within creating these games, decisions that these companies make with the games that they are creating, and all these things I think like could be factored because of these kind of things, and we're going to see that impact grow over time because this is just the beginning, right? Like this is going to spread to other companies. Microsoft opening it up puts the pressure on the other big companies to do the same. As well as it can be an incentive for people to come work for Microsoft and come work for those studios and come work for those places. So I think Microsoft sees that as well. So there's a bunch of like different scenarios how this can be impacted, and only time will tell really, like,
correct,
if it turned out to be a great thing, if it turned out to be a bad thing, or it turned out to be just middle ground, it didn't like really change anything, or it turned out to be good for some, bad for others. Who knows? I think it's usually falls somewhere in the middle with all this kind of stuff. But as a gamer, how does it affect me? I don't know.
We'll find out.
And yeah, ultimately, it's just going to be something that we learn more about over time, right? And yeah, but I think this is going to be a trend like that we see continue. It's been kind of more on the ABK side, obviously, because of the scenarios that happened before the acquisition and then continued to happen afterwards. And then they got acquired, and you had layoffs. All these scenarios have been big factors into Activision Blizzard and being approached originally by this, and then being some of the first to get it going, and then prompted Microsoft to say, okay, yeah, we will allow that, right? So this has all been interesting to see how it's going to change things. Does it go into other departments at Microsoft now because of the company's stance on these things, right? What's the next company then to do it? Like, ultimately, I think in the grand scheme of things, I think just if I was to look at it for like strategy wise from Microsoft's perspective, it's a check mark they can say in the long run, okay, this is maybe going to cost us money, right? This is going to be a hurdle. This is going to, at times, this is going to be something we have to come to the table and give more than we want to, or this is going to affect how we are able to make decisions with our staffing and all these other kind of things. However, in the long run, with growth and kind of trying to take over different industries and being the dominant player, other hurdles are regulation, regulators, other things in the industry, and all this other kind of stuff. And being kind of one of the first to kind of lower that barrier as far as like saying we're open to this kind of creates this scenario where they're putting themselves in position to have less obstacles to become even bigger, right? So, like, I think from a company's strategy, like battling against every little thing sometimes can be a detriment to saying, okay, I accept this, I'm willing to accept that, I'm willing to accept that in exchange for allowing me to grow even bigger and bigger and bigger. And potentially that could be kind of why you're seeing some of these things, because they're going to be attractive to more employees. This is good when regulators look at some of the moves that they're making, and all these other scenarios are going to play into this. So there's more than just like it's just for the people, right? I think all in all, like, this is a strategic decision that they made. They're trying to play nice, just like they're trying to play nice with the regulators over, like, hey, we want all the app stores to be open. We want everything. We want to have the open place for everybody here at Microsoft, right? We want to be this. We want to be that. We want everybody to have access to the cloud. When everybody we put our things everywhere for everybody else. Meanwhile, they're trying to be the cloud service and service manager for like every company out there, right? So like they're trying to grow and become this bigger entity and sell your services to other businesses and all these other kind of things, has its own hurdles, right? Within industry and big tech, and you got to sometimes play nice if you want to be bigger and compete. And I think ultimately, if you look at the grand scheme of things, that was a decision they made when they acquired ABK, and that was something they knew they were going to have to look at. And they made a decision strategically for the future of the company. What's the best return, right, for us in the long run? Do we battle against this, and do we create this other kind of constant obstacle like the rest of the industry is doing, or we be the different ones and see if lowering that hurdle ends up actually helping us in the long run? And I think that's the decision they ran with. So, but others will follow.
Yes, sir. Others will follow. So yeah, no, and bold. Again, you got strong opinions about it, and I totally appreciate them. Again, yeah, big business don't give two shits about their employees. Everybody's a number, man. So I get it. Like I said, that's why I think this is an opportunity. But again, there are both sides, but we will see how this plays out, because this is a lot of new ground that Microsoft is starting to break here with the unionization. This much unionization of such large groups. Excuse me. And we will see how this all works out in the long run. But again, I always think the option for employees should be there to make this move if they choose to do so. 1,000%. That's full stop, I guess, as the kids say. Because I think it should be an option. So Mav, Humble Games, lots of confusion over this. We don't have a clear picture, but they were shut down. For anybody who doesn't know, IGN, Ziff Davis, acquired Humble back in 2017. They weren't a part of the mass acquiring that they did of basically some of the world's largest publications in tech, and basically have a monopoly on mainstream media for tech right now, right? Which people have talked about. They bought Humble way back in 2017. Humble Games ran independently, supposedly, from them since that point, because that's actually the year that Humble started publishing games, as well as offering the Humble bundles, which a lot of people, especially PC players, are aware of, are great deals from time to time, where you can make up a bundle of different games that they have on sale. And you pay, you pay one low price for all the games. Great deals. I've already made a couple purchases from Humble Bundle. But this whole entire time they've been running independently, supposedly. But suddenly, out of the blue this week, word got out from employees, ex-employees of Humble, that they were laying off everybody, that they were shutting down everybody. Obviously, one of the first questions was, will any of the websites that IGN now owns actually talk about this, since it is the parent company, since it is the one making these decisions now? Will they even talk about this? Will they write articles about it? Well, in fact, many of them did. They actually did produce some articles. I'm actually going to use the one from gamesindustry.biz. And this was done by Vicky Blake. They actually did the initial story And then they did 2 follow-ups, and this is where things get really murky. So we'll talk about it here in a second, but original story was Humble Games is reportedly shutting down. According to former Humble developers, all 36 employees were seemingly laid off without notice this morning and told the company was closing. Humble Games is owned by Ziff Davis, which owns GameIndustry.biz, parent Gamer Network. Whilst there's been no formal word from Humble Games about the decision to close, its social media channels like X were active this morning, responding to player questions and queries about its latest release, Bow Path of the Teal Lotus. Quote, at 9 a.m. this morning, 36 employees of Humble Games were told that we are being let go and the company is shutting down, explained former BizDev exec Nikki Kwan, who wrote about what happened on LinkedIn. Quote, the game industry is volatile. It's been inundated by people who only want exponential growth at the expense of making great games with great teams, added former 2D artist Amelie Kiefer. Quote, billionaires and CEOs are making record profits at the expense of employees who actually create the products, but I believe we have the power to create studios that benefit us as game developers and not people that only see us as money printing machines, end quote, Kiefer added. Got to go independent if you want that. Let me tell you, unfortunately, big business don't give 2 shits. Right. And then they did an update on July 25th as well, said former Humble staff have disputed, or actually, hold on. Let me do this. Then there was an update. I got to go in time order, but these articles are backwards here. So then there was an update at 8:59 the same day from Humble Games themselves. Humble Games has confirmed while it's undergoing restructuring, the company is not shutting down and upcoming releases are not affected. In a statement to GamesIndustry.biz, Humble Games said, in these challenging economic times for indie game publishing, Humble Games has made the difficult but necessary decision to restructure our operations. This decision was not made lightly. It involved much deliberation and careful thought with the goal of ensuring the stability and support of our developers on ongoing projects. Additionally, the restructuring of operations at Humble Games will have no impact on operations at Humble Bundle. Quote, we are acutely aware of the profound impact this decision has on our team members at Humble Games and deeply empathize with everyone affected. Our team's contributions have been world-class and invaluable, supporting the launch of our games since we've started publishing in 2017. We are committed to navigating this transition with as much empathy and understanding as possible. Supporting our development partners and assisting former team members remains our top priority. We are committed to making this transition as smooth as possible for everyone involved. Thank you for your support and compassion during this challenging period. It is deeply appreciated. Every company has the same form letter. Yeah. There was accusations that this was actually written by AI, as is wont to do. Whatever. This is the standard form. It doesn't matter whether it was written by AI or handwritten by, take your pick of any CEO of any company out there. They all sound almost exactly the same. Like, it's the stupidest shit ever. I hate this part of society nowadays. Anyways, it's not personal at all. They can talk about empathy. They can talk about compassion. They can talk about all this nonsense. It's fucking business. Okay. You guys decided that Humble wasn't making enough money for you. You close it down. Okay. Now there was an update because of course they said that wasn't happening. It was a restructuring. There was another update today, July 25th. Former Humble staff have disputed the company's statement regarding the restructuring, claiming it underplays the impact on the team. An anonymous staff member impacted by the layoffs told GamesIndustry.biz the statement is patently incorrect, emphasizing that all Humble Games staff were laid off this week. Operations are said to be moving to a third-party consultancy, the Powell Group, which will handle all remaining games. In a transcript of a meeting with Steve Horowitz, president of Ziff Davis's shopping and technology division, it was suggested affected staff may be offered opportunities elsewhere within Ziff Davis or at the Powell Group. Aftermath has received similar reports, with a former Humble Games employee telling the site that the restructuring claim is to save face, but that's a lie. The site also cites Chris Radley, a former Humble Games employee who left in 2022, who posted on LinkedIn that, quote, this is not a restructuring of operations, but a, quote, total shutdown of Humble Games with no internal staff remaining. GamesIndustry.biz reached out for more information, but was told by Humble Games and Ziff Davis, quote, are not commenting further on the restructure at this time. Listen, Mav, listen, we have seen this so much in this industry, and obviously the industry has been after the pandemic, and them over hiring and all this kind of stuff. But Humble Games has been around for a while. They've been publishing a lot of good stuff, but it's smaller indie stuff. It's always a risk, right? Your Devolver Digitals, your Annapurnas, your super successful indie publishers, are few and far between. And there's so many indie games, but obviously the Humble Games did put out. They actually cut a deal with Xbox. I think it was a year and a half ago, Mav, and we got a bunch of Humble Games into Game Pass, right? So it seemed like they were doing pretty well, but obviously we saw these cuts coming when Ziff Davis acquired all this media too. We saw a bunch of sites, layoffs, all that kind of stuff. They're obviously cost cutting. Things aren't going as well as their shareholders would like, as we've seen everywhere. So what happens? They do this shit. They find out who's not making them the best money. Even if they're making money, if it's not the best money, you're gone. Now, I don't know what the numbers look like, right? We haven't been privy to any of the numbers for Humble Games, whether or not they were actually making money or losing money or whatever the case may be. But this is a part of the industry. But these back and forth statements, I'm always more than likely, even though I know that angry employees will come out and tell bold-faced lies about the company as well. When it's a mass layoff like this, and you got people of all different levels from that group saying the same thing, that like every single person was laid off here, there is no staff. And then you've got transcripts kind of talking about that fact, and you've got this other Powell group coming in to run things in the meantime, or take over, I should say, the projects that are out there. I'm going to err on the side of the employees and say this is basically a shutdown, that Humble Games is not there. It doesn't exist except for in name at this point. And that's because you don't really have employees left, and you got another group running the ship to take over. So it's just a name now. So you can play semantics all you want. You can use different words for it. Restructuring. Come on, man. You closed down the studio. You fired the entire staff. Like it's done and over with. This is shitty.
Yeah, they're using a third-party consultancy firm to finish their existing contracts.
Right.
Apparently.
Right. It's bullshit. Come on, man. So again, continues the trend in this industry. This industry is high risk. Companies overhired. Companies overspent. Companies did what companies do, big business. Again, you think these are run by the smartest people in the world. Unfortunately, time and time again, they prove that they are very bad at a lot of decision making when it comes to situations that happen out of the blue, like the pandemic. And you just think that all of a sudden these record high numbers that you guys saw from everybody sitting at home 24/7 locked in their houses were going to continue when things went back to normal. Like you thought you were going to have enough of that you were going to be okay. Well, obviously that's not the case. People go back to normal daily lives. People have real lives. More people are going back to work. More people are getting outside and enjoying things. Obviously that wasn't going to happen. But this is obviously a cost-cutting move in my eyes, in my opinion. This is a cost-cutting move for Ziff Davis. This is obviously just numbers, man. And it sucks. It sucks for all the employees. I hope they do find employment. I hope some of them do get to stick around if they choose to do so with the company, if they're offered those positions that they claim to do. But this is a big business move, man. This is straight cash, homie. This is nothing else in my eyes. And it's shitty for all those employees who obviously probably thought they were doing pretty good work. They've got I saw a graph of their projects, and I think they've got 4 or 5 games currently that are in different levels of development that they were going to publish. It wasn't like they were hard up for publishing games. They were ready to rock and roll. They had consistent games for the past few years. What's your thoughts, man? Anything on this one?
I mean, it sucks. It sucks. I would just like the games media to stand on the same ground that they've been standing for the rest of the entire conversation for every other company when they're having layoffs, especially Microsoft. But guess what? They're not going to, because guess who owns pretty much almost all of games media? Ziff Davis, right? So, hey, do we see these people that have been like crucifying Microsoft specifically over their layoffs without addressing the rest of the industry talk anything about this? These I'm talking about the big games media that just won't, they just continue and continue and continue and continue and continue, right? Like they would have moments of silence and stuff, right? For all the losses in the industry of game development across everything. Yet the parent company that owns them now is doing the same thing and actually did some within their own industry of games journalism, and everybody was silent.
Mm-hmm.
Silence across the board. So hey, just same energy, bro. You know, like same energy. You fucking pieces of shit.
What's funny though, Mav, is what I just read there, that article from Games Industry Biz, is how news should be fucking reported.
Right.
Straight neutral. Let your readers decide, right? Give them the facts. Let the readers decide where they fall, right?
Yeah, but that's not what they do when it's the rest
that's not what they do anymore.
Exactly.
Right. But that's what this is the greatest example of what news used to be like in most cases. And now this is the rare exception. And why is the rare exception? Because exactly what Mav just said. Because it's their parent company that's doing it. So they're not going to write the scathing articles about how horrible it is. Oh, look, another example of the big
corporate greed, Ziff Davis.
Corporate greed, taking down the little people.
Consolidation.
It's so awful. This is the state of the industry now. We celebrate great games, but at the same time, we've got so many people losing their jobs. The scathing articles that we see everywhere else, like Mav said, that's not going to happen here.
Yeah, it's like
because it's the parent company.
Oh, Game Pass is killing the industry. That's causing layoffs. Who are you going to blame? Right? Who are you going to blame? Ziff, IGN. You know, like Dan Stapletons of the world, those people, right? Yeah, like I went and looked at his. He doesn't have Twitter anymore. I went and looked at his link on Blue Sky to see what this guy had to say. Yeah, nothing. Not a peep. Not a peep, Mr. Anti-Consolidation, right? Like
hypocrisy, sir. It's the hypocrisy. That's why I don't take any of this. That's why I don't take these people seriously. These people are not serious people anymore. We don't have a serious media anymore. We don't. It's all bullshit. It's all written in these forms. And again, it's just funny to see this rare example of what it should be for the wrong fucking reason.
Yeah.
Right.
And it sucks. I like some of their games. It sucks. Like hey, Ziff Davis. Like I thought it sucked when Microsoft closed Tango, right? And Arcane Austin. I think it sucks that Humble is shut down because they were publishing good indie games, right?
Yep.
A lot of people liked. I hope it doesn't affect Humble Bundles. Apparently, it's not going to, supposedly. But I hope it doesn't, because I actually take advantage of that. Sometimes I actually really think it's a cool thing, right? But like, Ziff Davis is a big company that is making business moves, just like Microsoft, just like Sony, just like Apple, Amazon, right? Like they just are a little bit on a different side because they are more in game. They have journalism, websites, stuff like that, and then now they have some games things that they do like Humble. But like, you know, hey, how long ago did they acquire them? Pong, was it
2017?
Okay, so they had them for about 7 years or so.
It was October 2017.
Yeah, and now they're like trying to twist things, which is even worse.
Yeah,
in my opinion, like restructuring when you fire everybody, but you can't say you're closing them down, but because you have to stay open probably to honor the contracts of the existing agreements you have.
Of course.
So that's why they still exist.
Yeah.
In some form or fashion, even though you're just outsourcing everything to a different company to do the work for you until you probably get through your existing contracts, and then you can move on.
It's so stupid. It's so stupid. But again, I take this with everybody I wish understood what the media does, and this is general media statement, not just here in this industry, but more people should be really offended. They believe everybody is that dumb that reads their shit. That's how they think of their readers, is that they think they can write stuff like this and then turn around and be hypocritical and that nobody notices. And you know what? They're right for a lot of people. A lot of people don't ever understand what's being fed to them and how it's being fed to them. They just take it all in and just regurgitate it. And again, this is all media. Yeah. This is how dumb they think everybody is, right? That they can do this bold face now out in the open and nobody's going to notice, right? It's wild. It's wild. It is upsetting as also. Anyways, but yeah, that's what happened with Humble Games. Again, I'm going to err on the side of the employees that have been speaking out on this one.
Yeah.
And probably suggest that what they are saying is the actual facts and not the copy and paste statement from the company. Okay. Like Mav said, restructuring, you don't get rid of everybody in a restructuring and then turn over the business to a third party. Like that's not, no. Anyways, let's get to a couple of small little items here, quick, cool items, Mav, and then we'll move on to the main topic and get everybody out of here. So, anybody who didn't notice, any Soul Reaver fans out there? Any Soul Reaver fan out there? I know there's some old school people. A lot of people have been asking for Soul Reaver to come back. Well, Wario64, shout out to Wario64, posts lots of good deals, but he also posts news. I appreciate Wario64's account. Posted today, somebody was at SDCC, right? That's the San Diego Comic-Con, right?
Yeah.
Mav?
Yep.
And it's coming from Reset Era. Somebody snapped some photos out there because they had some statues, Soul Reaver statues in a glass case. And they had, little labels for the statue. And it says, Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver 1 and 2 remastered on this. It's very clear. It's not questionable. They have Soul Reaver 1 and 2 remastered on here. So it appears that somewhere, unannounced, they are actually remastering Soul Reaver 1 and 2. I am all for it. Again, as long as they treat it with respect, right? As long as it doesn't come out in some shitty ass form, which we have seen.
Yeah.
Take two, Rockstar. As long as you don't do that, you don't have to do a whole big remake. But if you remaster it to allow players, the old folks who love these old games, and introduce some new players to what are classic games that maybe not a lot of people are aware of anymore, and you allow them to be played on current modern day hardware, and they just run properly, up-resed, look a little bit nice, right? If you do it right, I am all for this 1000% of the time, and Soul Reaver absolutely is a series, 1 and 2 especially, worthy of getting a remaster for current audiences so that at least us old heads can play it again, but new people can find it too. What a great series, and hopefully this means that dreams are coming true here, man. I don't think there's any doubt that it is.
Who owns the IP now? Is it Crystal and Eidos? So it would be Embracer Group?
Embracer Group, yeah.
Okay, so
yep.
I wonder who would be the developer. It would still be Crystal Dynamics.
Underneath this, on this tag, it says Crystal Dynamics.
Okay.
So
it's funny. This was Amy Hennig's game back in the day, right?
Yeah. This is before we knew. we didn't get to know writers of video games. Mm-hmm. This was Amy Hennig's like coming out party when everybody found out who she was and that the writing on the Legacy of Kain was her. That's when she started to get to be known. Once, we started getting into the internet age more and people started paying more attention to writers and actors and all that kind of stuff. Yes, this is where Amy Hennig cut her teeth, was on the Legacy of Kain. And it showed amazing writing, even for back in the day. Like, crazy.
My only thought, like in the top of my mind, is like Crystal Dynamics has a lot of stuff going on right now. So like adding like a couple remasters is kind of maybe they can do it, but like I would think maybe this is something they would be in, like, namesake wise they would have it, maybe like a couple people there, but like kind of outsource the work to like a remastered type studio, Well,
we've got tons of remaster studios now, like Digital Eclipse.
Night Dive.
Night Dive, Digital Eclipse are both doing incredible remasters, and I'm hoping that that's the case, right? That's where they went. Who did the Tomb Raider remasters to the originals, even though Crystal Dynamics wasn't happy, whatever.
I don't know.
Who did the Tomb Raider remasters? Let me look it up real quick.
Whoever it is probably whoever would be doing this, I would think.
Yeah, that's what I would think so too. And again,
we got Crystal Dynamics is working on currently they're helping with
Aspire did the Tomb Raider remaster.
Oh shit.
Yes.
Okay.
But they did a nice job with the Tomb Raider remaster.
Yeah, but what happened to that studio? Like they lost a lot of their teams, right?
They did.
So they had Crystal Dynamics currently is working on Tomb Raider as well as Perfect Dark. Right? So that's two massive projects that they have. Yes. So I just curious like how much effort and time they would put into something like this. But maybe it wouldn't take too much work. Maybe it would just take a small team. Who knows? Yeah. But like, or maybe it's somebody like that. Maybe this is what they put Aspire on at when they moved them off of
Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah, moved them off of Knights of the Old Republic.
Potentially. I mean, again, what they did with Tomb Raider, I can't. From what I've seen, I haven't played it yet, but everybody that I know that's played it, that is Tomb Raider classic fans, said it's a great remaster. Like they did a great job, kept everything the same, treated the IP with respect, and just brought it forward. That's all I care about, right? If you're gonna do this, so if that's the case, I got confidence they could do this. Again, remasters are finally being shown how they can be done, and it doesn't take a ton of work. Right, it's not like a remake again, but people are showing how it can be done. Again, Digital Eclipse and Night Dive both have done phenomenal jobs. So maybe everybody's kind of starting to get the idea, right?
Yeah.
But whatever the case, the chance that we are getting Soul Reaver 1 and 2 remastered, and it hasn't been announced yet, and they happen to have it already printed on things like this. This was a plaque in front of the statues at San Diego Comic-Con. Like, this gives me hope, man. This gives me a lot of freaking hope that we are going to finally get an announcement here. I don't know where, maybe coming up, PAX, something like that. But yeah, man, this is exciting. And I see a lot of people in the chat too, a lot of the old heads out here praising this, because a lot of us have wanted to replay those games again.
I like when these old games are brought back and their glory and stuff. So the more that happens, cool. I'm willing to pay for it if they're treated with respect and brought up to current standards. Like not doesn't have to be a complete remake, like a Dead Space or like a Resident Evil situation, but like what they've done with like some of those other, like those companies that you talked about, making them games feel better, play better, just kind of better resolution, that kind of stuff. Like that's you're keeping the essence of what made the game special, but still making them like more accepting for today, right?
Yes. And you give them a chance to live on. And again, that's all I've ever asked. Again, we've lost so many games because there is no preservation, because there was no backwards compatibility until Xbox really started pushing it, right? Emulation is certainly helping in that area, but we've still lost so many games to history. The fact that you can bring any of these things up to date and current and let them be played on nowadays tech, that is just awesome natively, right? Not emulated, but natively. Yeah. That is freaking awesome. I'm all for it. And again,
just not on like 3 or 4 year old games. Okay.
Right. No. We don't need that. We don't need that.
Or if something already got a remaster 3 years ago, don't remake it. Like, it's like things like that. Y'all know where I'm going with this, right? But like, these old games, that's the ones we need to focus on, man. Like, bring these up and keep it going.
I agree wholeheartedly. Shout out to the Moon Man, Spooky. Good to see you, brother, jumping in here. Yeah, I know you've been down on remasters and remakes, but now he says, now I want the remasters now, Pong. Yes, absolutely, 1000% again. They deserve it. So I thought that was cool news today.
It's like Kate spent like a whole week playing through all the Duke Nukem content, you know, because that was really well done when they made that.
Yep.
You know, brought it
I
to.
still find it so awesome that she's a Duke Nukem fan. It's freaking amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Mav. I agree. I just think it's so good. It's good for the industry. Again, they're never going to be like the biggest sellers, and I get that. It is a little bit of a. It's a little bit of just a play into the nostalgia from these companies, obviously, to do it knowing that they probably won't sell a ton, but that's why I don't ask the world. Just bring them up to date and do a nice job and just let it be playable. Again, the graphics are going to look dated. It is what it is. But if it's playable nowadays where a few more people get to enjoy what we enjoyed back in the day, I'm all for it. And I love companies that do it. So hopefully this is true. And hopefully it is somebody doing it right. And I'll be there. I will pick them up. I think this is awesome. So good news. Mav, we got to talk about this real quick. Okay. I'm going to turn this one over to you and let you go first because I got to run to the bathroom real quick. But we got to talk about this, bro, because I blew this up in our DM.
Yeah.
And again, we're going back nostalgia. But you guys, a lot of you in the chat have been around enough years with us here at the Fun Speculation Network. You have heard Mav and I talk about this, right? We actually had brother Mike on, shout out to the NLG. And he actually, when he was reviewing games professionally as a journalist, reviewed this game horribly, and Mav and I gave him shit when he visited PM the PM. But there's a glimmer of hope, and it's a glimmer, and Mav and I are gonna cup this thing like it's the last dying ember on Earth, and that we are carrying the only chance at fire left on Earth. We are going to protect this glimmer of hope. So Mav and I are going to be looking for more little hints that this is actually going to turn into a flame. So right now, that's all this is. And I know lots of you aren't going to care about this one either, but Mav and I care about it. And we just got a game that is bringing back the Command and Conquer feels in Tempest Rising. So we are getting hit with the nostalgia left and right here. Guys, there was a post from Time Extension 64. And Time Extension is a small little site. They do news. Okay. Probably most of you don't even follow them on X. I happen to follow them because I must have seen some of their articles because they find little snippets from especially the East that a lot of places don't even pick up on. They put out a post this week, and I blew it up in our DMs. Time Extension posted, fresh Tokyo Extreme Racer trademark appears in Japan. And I'll read the short article here. Okay. Genki has filed a new trademark for its Tokyo Extreme Racer in Japan. The series kicked off with Shotoku Battle 94 Drift King on the Super Famicom and has blessed many other platforms since then, including the PlayStation 1, Saturn, Dreamcast, and PlayStation 2. While the series is collectively known as Tokyo Extreme Racer, entries and offshoots have been published under a wide range of different titles, including Tokyo Highway Battle, Import Tuner Challenge, and Street Supremacy. The first entry to adopt the Tokyo Extreme Racer name was in the 1999 release known as Shotoku Battle in Japan and Tokyo Highway Challenge in Europe. The 2005 spin-off Kaido Battle was released as Tokyo Extreme Racer Drift 2 in North America. The 2017 smartphone title Shotoku Battle Extreme is the most recent installment of the franchise. Perhaps this new trademark means that Genkai is planning a new game. Mav, we finally, maybe, again, this is just the slightest glimmer of hope. It could be another freaking mobile game. Mav and I looked at the mobile games. In fact, they're in the East only. But Mav, is there a possibility that now we're this far into like video games have gotten so big and this generation so big and racers are big, and could it be possible that Genki is going to let us on consoles potentially get back to driving the streets of Tokyo at nighttime, battling bosses, racing an unbelievable looking traffic with the lights zipping by, and just gripping the controller knowing that any little bad move and you've just lost because the boss is going to be gone, bro. Are we finally going to get a Tokyo Extreme Racer, a real relaunch of the series, potentially on consoles? What do you think?
Well, Pong, you sent me that DM and my eyes went like,
what?
This is something I never thought I would even have a glimmer of hope for. But when I was sent that DM, my heart grew 3 sizes. I was like, did I just read the words Tokyo Extreme Racer in a news article about video games? And I see that, I'm like, this can't be real. This is a game that we've talked about numerous times on our channels, just kind of like in passing, because it's one of these games that we remember that kind of just stuck in our minds forever because of the amount of fun we had playing it back in the day. And for me, I've talked about it numerous times that it's probably my favorite Dreamcast game, and it's one of my favorite racing games of all time. The way that the game was made was like you're driving on the highways of Tokyo at night. You pull up behind another racer. They all have unique identities, right? They'll have a unique name. They'll have a specific car. You flash your lights at them. You challenge. You go, right? You race on the highways. You got to avoid the barriers between under the overpasses when you're going in tunnels. You got to avoid traffic. And it's just a fucking blast. And there's a rank system where you start off against easier cars, and then as the more you play, you can upgrade your car as well. You can switch your cars and stuff, and then you eventually face harder and harder competition until you finally get to match up against the final boss, which if my memory is correct, it was Speed King, and it was a 280Z. If my mind is right,
you're right on the 280Z. Speed King, I don't remember.
It was
something.
It was something like that. But man, that guy was an asshole. He was.
I think you and I put him in the pillar.
Yes, and yeah, it was just, man, that fucking Datsun was just gone. You know, like as soon as the race starts, no matter what you got, man, that car just fucking was so nimble and fast and just got in and out of traffic.
Perfect.
Yeah, it raced perfect. And so the strategy to beat him, you got to try and line it up and time it perfectly. And when you get to that barricade between the tunnel, you got to put his ass right in the middle, and you got to fucking go and hope he doesn't catch your ass. And that's how I eventually beat that guy. But he, man, it was so much fun, dude. And I played through it so many times, just like racing the same highway system over and over and over again, racing the same cars over. It was just so much fun. And I missed that franchise. This was a franchise when I first played it and really got into it. It was a game that I hoped would continue and last forever and keep coming out with new entries every few years and all this kind of stuff. And it just never happened. You know, they had a Tokyo Extreme Racer 2, but after that, it kind of just went away. You know, and I know they've had some other spin-offs and stuff that weren't as good, and they did some mobile stuff and all these other kind of things. But like, just the thought of like this little, like you said, this little ember that we are carrying now of like a spark of hope. It's like a spark of hope that we hope could grow into a bonfire of passion of tuner highway Tokyo racing. Is like, it's enough for me right now to get me kind of like excited. So I hope it happens, man, because that if it comes back and it's done in a decent way, they kind of keep to the same kind of true to life, or true to the history of the game, and kind of keep that same kind of system in place, but with modern like Tokyo, with modern like graphics. I don't even
care if it's last gen. I don't even care if it looks like last gen.
Yeah, no, it's fine enough for me too. Yeah.
It doesn't have to be Forza. Okay, it doesn't have to be Forza. It doesn't have to be close to that. Again, Geki isn't that type of developer anyway.
Right.
They're small time. Just give me the feel of the racing that game had one of the best arcade racers of all time. Again, obviously Need for Speed Underground is up there, obviously. I love the feel of it, but Tokyo Extreme Racer had that same type of feeling, again, in and out of the traffic at extreme speeds. It had the feeling of the speed, and again, just knowing at any moment you were toast, pulling up behind the car. Remember that, Matt? Pulling up behind the cars and flashing your brights to start the race, bro. And just how it even looked back then. And yes, I am living with those rose-tinted glasses on, obviously. But man, we still haven't had a game at nighttime racing that made me feel the way that Tokyo Extreme Racer did back then. And I want to just try it again, man.
I can't remember. Could you roll down your window?
That I don't remember either.
I don't remember. For some reason, I'm thinking you could roll down your window. It's like the first game that like ever you could do that with or something. Like it was just fun and special, man. Like it brought that like feeling of like actually that one-on-one challenge of racing like to life better than other games ever had.
The freeway system was just awesome. Mm-hmm. It was simple. Obviously back then, again, I'm not saying that it hasn't been done, but just the on and off ramps, how you could take them and at full speed and then get into that tunnel. Oh my God. It was just such a blast. That's why, Mav and I have said if Forza Horizon is going to go to Tokyo, please do a nighttime like that on the freeway system through the city. Please.
I would just take a remaster with updated graphics too.
Yes. So would I. Like we were just talking about.
Yeah.
Please, Yankee, please just do that.
Go and get the same fucking cars. It's like, oh my God. Yes. That's a treasure trove of cars for me. Those are the cars I look for when I play a new racer now. It's like, I want the Supras. I want the RX-7s. I want the, I want
the 280s. Yep.
3000 GT.
Oh God, man. The GTR4s. Oh my God. So good, bro. So good.
A GSX.
Yep. GSX. Oh, bring it back.
Get a little Del Sol action going, CRVs.
Oh man. Like I said, it's such a small hope, but I saw it. I was like, oh God, I yelled Mav in the DMs and posted it. And I was like, Jesus, if there's any chance. So thanks chat for indulging a couple old guys going back, but man, we love Tokyo. It was like one of the first conversations Mav and I had too. Like when we started talking about games, and I don't remember who brought it up, but one of us brought up Tokyo Extreme Racer, and Mav's like, one of us was like, oh my God, you like that game too? I'm like, yes. Yes,
it's just one of those games, man. It's just like if you played it a lot and you really liked it, it sticks with you. God of Sofa King says Rockstar needs to do Midnight Club. Yes, man. I've been
there was a rumor
craving that come back to. For me, like Midnight Club Los Angeles was great, but for me, my favorite was Dub Edition.
Mm-hmm. Dub Edition was the best.
That was, man, like online with the car clubs and everything you had. I actually had a car club in that game, and we got a cease and desist letter from an actual car club.
You named it the same.
Yeah, because our name happened to be the same thing as an actual car club, and we had like a AOL homepage for our like Midnight Club car club. We got a cease and desist email from.
I remember that story. Oh my, that's crazy. But there was rumors because they were supposed to buy whatchamacallit until I can't think of the name of it. God dang it, man!
The Codemasters. They were supposed to buy Codemasters.
They were supposed to buy Codemasters until EA came in and all of a sudden outbid them, like at the last minute, like it was a done deal, and then EA showed up with bags full. And there was a rumor they were trying to buy Codemasters to bring back Midnight Club. And then there was a follow-up rumor that they were going forward with a different team that was going to do it, but then we haven't heard anything in years. So I hope, man. I hope they do. Let me see here. All right, Mav, let's get into the main topic here. Again, thank you all for indulging a couple old guys going through some nostalgia there, but I know we got lots of old guys and gals in the chat too, so appreciate you all if you liked any of that stuff. But again, Soul Reaver 1 and 2 coming back will be massive, even as just a remaster. I can't wait. And if we get Tokyo Extreme Racer, this generation is complete, man. We're getting our CNC game. If we get Tokyo Extreme Racer on top of it, generation. Let's get to the main topic. So obviously the thumbnail says Xbox traffic jam. And this kind of was set off today. I'll bring in this other news for anybody who hasn't heard yet. We got an official statement from the Stalker team, who said Heart of Chernobyl will now be launching on November 20th, 2024, moving from the previously planned date of September 5th. We know you might be tired of waiting, and we truly appreciate your patience. These 2 additional months will give us a chance to fix more unexpected anomalies, as they call them, or simply bugs, as you can call them. Stalker 2 is shaping up to be everything we envisioned, with the launch nearly here. We are incredibly excited to share more with you. To give you a taste of what's coming, we're thrilled to announce Stalker 2 developer deep dive video, which will be released on Xbox media channels on August 12th. This detailed update will include exclusive interviews, lots of new footage, and a full video walkthrough of one of the game's quests. Can't wait for you to see it and get a comprehensive understanding of how this game looks and plays. We're always grateful for your ongoing support and understanding. It means the world to us. We're just as eager as you are to finally release the game and for you to experience it for yourself. With love and gratitude, GSC Game World. Make it clear. We've said it. All of us, I think, are in agreement on this. We've said this billion times through our shows for years. However long it takes GSC to get this game together, that's fine. You guys need to keep delaying it. Don't care. Bring it out when you can. Okay? I'm excited for Stalker 2. We've been excited since day one when we first saw the first trailer. Obviously, things went sideways in Ukraine, and this team's been through a massive amount of upheaval over the years, and I've always said along, don't care. Just let me know when it's coming out. That's fine, right? The fact that they're even putting the game out still is crazy to me. So good on them. November. What this ducktails into here, Mav, is suddenly, again, this for people who don't like speculation, right? We're going to be in speculation town here, but suddenly there was whispers. Jez put out a poll. Cold Eastwood made a statement that Stalker 2 being delayed kind of bunched things up for Xbox. Jez's poll, by the way, was just asking if game had to be delayed, which one would it be? Indiana Jones, Avowed. Again, being in this community for a very long time, well, 4 years. Okay, I know there's been people here for much longer than that, but being in this community for long enough, paying as much attention as we do, right? You see these things and you know these things are all connected. Okay? You see these things are more than just, people just putting out interesting conversations or whatever the case may be. There's stuff going around right now that because Stalker 2's movement, because of all the other games, and I'm going to pull up everybody else's favorite person, Ryan McCaffrey. Again, you guys know personally, no, I ain't about this guy, but whatever. He made a post today as well. Updated list, I think, of Xbox first party or day one Game Pass launches from now through the end of 2024. Flintlock Siege of Dawn just came out. Dungeons of Hinterberg just came out. Aura History Untold, PC only, September 24th. Call of Duty Black Ops 6, October 25th. Yes, we have to count that now. It's coming to Game Pass. It's a first-party title, no matter what anybody else wants to say. Avowed, November 12th, if the leak is correct. Flight Sim 24, November 19th. Stalker 2, November 20th. Indiana Jones TBD. Starfield Shattered Space TBD. Replaced TBD. He put, to be honest, I think this will move to 2025. He's talking about replaced. So, Mav, everybody is now starting speculation, the propaganda wheel for Xbox that, oh boy, just too many games, man. Just too many games, Mav. Can't have this many games at the end of the year, Mav. Can't have it. Something's got to give. We can't launch Avowed and Stalker 2 together. We can't do that, even though it's two different audiences, and Stalker 2 isn't, again, I'm excited the hell out of Stalker 2, but it's like not, Stalker isn't a household name for a lot of people. But we can't have this map. So something's got to move. Xbox can't possibly launch all these titles. for the second half of this year. It just can't possibly happen. Now, I told you guys at the beginning of the show, if you guys were here for our openings, our intros, that I'm in pissy mood. Okay. And I told you guys that I always can look at both sides of this, business wise and gamer wise, right? In most of the topics, I can take both sides and I can look at it and believe two things are true at the same time because I'm an adult. Tonight, I'm more gamer mode. I'm more selfish gamer mode. Some people out in this community like to throw on the word entitled all the damn time when these types of topics come up. I'm going to turn this over to Mav because I'm interested in what he thinks on this stuff. But obviously, Xbox has a ton of games. There's no doubt about this. Mav and I and all the other shows have talked endlessly. Even when people were trying to say Xbox was dying, we were out here naming all the games for the next year and a half, potentially 2.5 years that Xbox now has lined up because they own so much. We've been talking about this even prior to the ABK acquisition when all the studios started firing on all cylinders, that the avalanche was coming and that it wasn't going to stop. So this is well known, right? Xbox now has games and they have a lot of them. And they have second and third party deals now, Game Pass deals that are coming to fruition that we've been hearing about for years, on top of all their first party studios, which now so happens to include ABK, obviously Call of Duty. One of the biggest launches every single year coming to Game Pass. So make no mistake, I understand all of it. And I understand that the business side of things, you don't want to launch all these games close to each other, that you want to spread them out. But next year is already getting full too, folks. And so I'm going to take a little bit of the greedy side tonight, right? I have plenty of games to play. I'm not complaining one bit about the amount of games. You guys already heard me talk about this. I have so much to play. I'm not even playing all the games I want to play right now. So that's not a problem either for me. But what I'm going to say here is I think Xbox should drop them all. I think, in fact, Xbox owes their customers a little bit in the way of first-party titles. I know, God help me, the horror for me to say that. The entitlement for me to say that. But I do think that this is a problem that they kind of self-created in certain instances. And I think that, the base that has been here all this time, right, through the ups and the downs, right, with the first-party development house, kind of deserve to have a freaking full plate or 3 full fucking plates for one. So I'm going to take that side. And I'm going to say that they should drop these all. If they're all ready to go. Now, again, I'm not asking them to put out broken games. I'm not asking them to put out unfinished games. I'm not asking for any of that. You guys know I'm delay as much as you need to until the game's ready. But God damn it, I am kind of tired of some of my most anticipated games getting delayed all the damn time. I went through the whole Starfield delay. Avowed is my most anticipated Xbox game this year. And the word on the street is that Avowed is going to be delayed. I'm just sick and tired of it. And if Avowed is delayed, I definitely can see Indiana Jones, my second runner-up, being delayed as well into 2025. Easily. Why launch it in December when you got all this shit? When you got all these games, why launch it? Right? From the business side, give it breathing room, get that cadence going, right? But we went through a whole first half of this year with nothing. Okay? Which again was fine. Plenty to play, not complaining, whatever. We all went through 2022. Okay? Xbox got to the point where the games are finally done. And why can't we have 1 year where we have an overabundance of games? So many that we don't know what to play. Why can't we have that? Directly from first party, I'm talking about. Not talking about the games industry in general. Not talking about what's going on, obviously. Talking about from Xbox. Why can't we? Why can't Phil and Booty sit back and go, you know what? Yeah, man, really don't want to line up all these games at the same time. Don't want to kind of all drop them within 3 months of each other, but Hell, our fans deserve it. Pongs of the world deserve it. They deserve to get their game that they wanted most this year and Avowed out the door. Let's give them Christmas. Let's give them all the Christmas presents. We got plenty next year. Next year's already lined up. Even the beginning of next year's lined up. Let's just drop it all on them. So yeah, tonight, since I'm in a pissy mood, I'm kind of asking for that. You know what? I am fucking asking for it. I want it. I want all of this. I want all of this to drop at this the last part of this year. What do we got? We got what, about 4 months left? 4 months and a week left? Drop it all, Xbox. I don't want any delays coming out of this. Unless the game is not ready. If the game's not ready, go ahead and delay it. But assuming that all these games are ready, assuming that all the studios that they've been talking about are saying that they were planning on still launching this year, are telling the truth, and this is simply a timing delay, then I'm not in agreement. Bill, give me my games. Damn it. Mav, Xbox traffic jam. It does appear to be real. It does appear that the way things are lining up, especially now Stalker moving, and that kind of stuff, that literally it is going to be like 3 months of just ungodly amounts of games coming from Xbox, both in first party, second party, or third party deals, and Game Pass in general, just getting inundated with games potentially. This is a traffic jam. Like I said, I'm not here to argue the business side of things tonight, but obviously I recognize that I know why they wouldn't do this. But what are your thoughts, Mav, going into this with everything that it kind of has happened that's led up to this point now, right? We had the whole first half of the year blank from first party. Again, them lining up, started with Hellblade 2, and obviously now rolling into winter where everything is just seemingly it's here, man. It's ready to rock and roll. All these teams have been working for years. Some of these games were already delayed out of their original internal spots to get reworked or to get more work on, to get polished, to get redone, all that kind of stuff. A lot of this stuff is just coming up now. What do you think about the Xbox traffic jam? Are we going to see delay season towards the end of this year? Are we going to finally get word? We got the word from Stalker 2 today. We'll see if we get word on Avowed or Indiana Jones down the road here. Do you think that's going to happen, or do you think Xbox says, screw it, takes my idea and says, Pong's right, launch it all, fire everything we got one time, just do it, let's do it, celebration, bitches, for Christmas, let's get it done. That's Booty comes out on stage and says that. What do you think we're doing here, Mav?
Yeah, I with just how it's been for a long time, like, I just hope that's not the mindset that they would have, is just to delay things to get out of the way of other things and each other. I know this is like November is going to be crowded, or that time of year and stuff, but overall, like, I want it to be that, because that's kind of what we've been waiting for, and if they like back off from it, this goes back to like Matt Booty's whole thing before. It's like the hardest thing to do now is we have so much to figure out where to put them all. And then now one of their third party companies that they have a big deal with Soccer 2, GSC Game World, another delay on that, which is whatever, take as much time as they need, but it gets pushed within about a week of the rumored other release date for another big game for this year. And it's like, okay, now so then we got that and then this, and now are they thinking too much about it? Like, what if actually Stalker 2 gets delayed again? Who could? I just hope that, for me, I understand there's business to this. I understand there's other big games out there, but just like release the games if they're ready, and if they're not ready, don't release them. Seems pretty simple, right? You got a subscription service that is meant to draw people in. Yeah, it may not be the best business decision. But let me tell you, if you also have a plethora of huge games in a holiday season all dropping within a short period of time, that can also be a positive to draw people in, right? So I understand the necessity to try and spread things out to an extent, but at the same time, like, I don't really care about Microsoft's business decisions with that. I just want the games if they're ready. If they're not ready, then push them back. There's so much to play that I don't like. It's not going to affect me really in any way. I have plenty of stuff to play this year, from Xbox and from third-party developers. But yeah, Avowed was kind of my was one of my most anticipated, and the second one was maybe Indiana Jones from the Xbox side, then Age of Mythology Retold. Also want to try out Aura. Want to play Towerborn. There's so much. Obviously, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is going to be a huge one for me as well.
Yeah,
there's so much to look forward to. I'm not going to get upset if they push anything back, but I just hope that's not what their mindset is. Is like, oh, let's get this stuff out of the way. Let's get this stuff out of the way. Like, the people have been waiting for these games, and if they're ready, give it to them, right?
Yeah.
So if this is a different situation where we've been in this like consistent, huge pipeline for a long time and stuff, I think that's more easy to make those decisions and stuff. But like you said, people have been waiting a long time finally for this to happen. Don't back off from it now out of like fear or whatever. For partners and other companies, just drop the games if they're ready. If they're not ready, delay them.
Yeah,
I won't be upset either way. I'm looking forward to so many damn games this year, dude. Like Tempest Rising, is probably like now is like up there with my most anticipated games, right? Yeah. So there's Assassin's Creed Shadows, Star Wars Outlaws. There's all these other games that I already mentioned from Xbox. There's all the sports games that I have to look forward to. Like I just talked about earlier, like with Madden, I'm probably going to be more into that again this year because I took kind of a year off from it for the most part. I'm good either way, but damn, I want to play Avowed. Damn, I want to play Indiana Jones.
Yes.
So like that. Don't like if they're ready, don't delay them. If that's all I got to say. If they're ready, don't delay them. If they're not ready, they need more time. Delay them. But don't lie to me and tell me they need more time if they're actually ready. Don't do that.
I mean, every game can be polished forever.
Right. Exactly.
Every game, if
we
you
were
gave
marchers
for
with
40 years, they
Starfields.
would. Yeah, right. I know we were marchers, and it could have launched. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
Anyways, no, I mean that's where I'm coming from tonight. Again, business wise, of course not. Ryan McCaffrey jumped in our chat. Thanks, Ryan. I appreciate it, but you're lying again, so you're living up to your namesake there at IGN. So congratulations. He said Pong also told me being behind the scenes that he hates Starfield. It's all a big conspiracy. Yeah. No, Ryan, you're lying. You're lying. Ryan also failed to mention Towerborn on that list too, by the way.
Yeah. So, yeah, and also Diablo. Well, he mentioned Starfield Shattered Space, which isn't in Game Pass, but he didn't say Diablo Vessel.
Vessel.
Which again, those are other two big experiences I'm looking forward to playing this year.
Absolutely, of course.
Just fucking this year's absolute bonkers.
Also, Sin, what do they got lined up next year? Well, speculation, right, Sin? Because we don't know necessarily the roadmap because a lot of the games at the showcase didn't have dates, right? But the thought is, right, Sin, that South of Midnight is going to be ready earlier.
They put 2025 on it at least.
Yes, yes, right. But we think it's going to be ready.
Fable.
And Clockwork and Fable, but also Clockwork Revolution. I think Fable's the holiday game. I think they'll give. I think they give Playground Games more polishing time and just let them keep polishing because that's going to be huge. That's going to be massive. That's your holiday release next year, I think. But you also got, you've got, God, I can't speak again. South of Midnight, Clockwork Revolution is expected next year as well. You got Fable, and then what am I missing? Why can't I think? Oh, Doom, of course. Yeah. Doom. There is rumors, which I don't believe, that E-Day is further along and could be a 2025 release. I don't think so. I think that's 2026. But you've already got 4 giant games next year, right? Lined up. And I think that for the first time in a long time, South of Midnight and Clockwork Revolution could be your early first half games. And then you got Doom and Fable, your second half game, right? And then there obviously could be something else in there as well. You're going to have smaller games in there as well. But I think that next year is the year that we start the actual really good cadence of all year round.
You can see games like Contraband.
So Contraband, exactly. Contraband. Yeah, exactly. So now if you do push Avowed, or let's say you do push Indiana Jones into 2025, okay, well now next year's starting to get toasty too. Like, okay, so what are you guys going to do? You're going to have Xbox. My point being is that Xbox has so much, especially when you throw in the Call of Duties and that kind of stuff. Xbox has so much underneath their umbrella now. There are going to be years where it's not going to work out to the perfect business sense cadence where you just space everything out and everybody gets time to breathe. Like it's not going to happen. You're going to have some times where you got to push out 2 games within a couple weeks of each other. It's just going to be that way, and you got to let it roll. That's what Game Pass, that's what's great about Game Pass, is that those games are going to continuously exist there at all times, and you get to promote them, and you get to bring people into the Game Pass experience because you have all these games available. Not that you're waiting or not that you have a launch date, but that when people hop into Game Pass, oh my God, look at all these first-party big titles I've got already available to me. So, again, am I being totally entitled here? Sure, I am a little bit, right? I just do think that the Xbox in general, the customers who have been paying for Game Pass Ultimate all this time, and again, it's been the best value in gaming. I've said that multiple. But from a straight first party, big title standpoint, right? This generation did not go the way that Microsoft thought it would go, that Xbox thought it would go, for lots of variety of different reasons. Their customers, the loyal customers who have been in Xbox, all this time, subscribe to Game Pass Ultimate all this time, going back even into the Xbox One generation. This is what we all been waiting for. Like these moments where it's just, oh my God, first party titles coming out their asses, right? And coming right to us, the goodness, right? It sounds terrible coming out of their asses and goodness to us. But anyways, you know what I'm saying? I think that you could give us one of these years where you just dump this is the way it turned out. You just dump it all. You give us Christmas. Santa Claus shows up. It's Phil Spencer, and he's got a freaking sleigh full of first party titles, and he's just dropping them all. It doesn't matter. Right? So yeah, I'm being a little entitled. I'm being a little greedy, being a little selfish here because again, Avowed is another one of my most anticipated first party titles from Xbox. And now potentially we're looking at a delay again of a game that's ready. Like I'm just kind of tired, like I said, of my wish list being delayed all the damn time, right? Everybody else gets their shit. Pong sits here and waits on his biggest titles for extra time. And just drop it. Like again, if you got to move Indiana Jones, fine. Don't move Avowed. But we might see 1 or 2. This is a good problem. At the end of the day, this is a great problem for Xbox. This is what we all saw. This is what we all talked about for years and years and years. While all of these other fools were running around, the clown show was running around telling everybody, Xbox got no games, never going to have games, Game Pass sucks, all this shit for all this time. We were sitting here nonstop. Xbox is dead. And we were sitting here going, what do you think these studios are doing? They got some of the most... They got one of the biggest houses of studios of all time. You think they're just sitting around doing nothing, twiddling their thumbs. The games are coming. And now we see them. And I want them. And potentially because there's too many at one time, they might move some. I don't want that to happen. I just want them.
Yeah.
If
they're ready, drop them. Simple.
If they're ready, they drop. Again, I'm not saying if they're not ready, don't drop them. I saw Jax82 with the $5 super chat, the easy 5. Thank you, Jax. Says they didn't delay Redfall in the state the game was and came and went and moved on. I don't like the delays, but if we get an better experience, why rush it?
Redfall wasn't ready.
No, and I agree wholeheartedly, Jax, right? I do agree. What I will say is that, again, you could delay games forever.
Yeah.
Indefinitely. And developers could sit and continuously polish and polish and polish. Eventually, they have to come out. But again, I am stating that if Avowed or Indiana Jones or both just aren't ready to hit this year, that there is some really, important things that you could do over the next, few months after they were supposed to come out to make them better. Yes, absolutely delay them. Okay, absolutely delay them. I just kind of think that Avowed all this time. I do, especially Avowed. I think Avowed is, from everything I'm seeing and all the work that they did on that latest build that they showed us, I really think Avowed is ready. But who am I? I'm not in the studio. I just want it to come up.
Yeah.
And again, I'm being selfish. Yeah, Brett Bingham, don't forget about Scalebound. You're right. Can never forget about Scalebound. Although I'm on the train that says bring it back. I was on the train that said bring Kamiya on. Boy,
yeah.
Xbox. I'm the guy who said take all of his BS and his baggage, and give him a studio, let him finish his baby. I said that. I will always say that. I like reclamation projects. I really do. I will give people second and third chances if I think they're worthy. And then Kamiya's worthy, and I think Scalebound was worthy, even though a lot of people don't think so. I think it was. But anyways. Yeah, Delroy says the strategy to hold games seems to work well for Nintendo. Yeah, of course. But Nintendo does on a yearly basis give them tons of first-party titles. They can just pump out so many games that they have games in the vault that they literally are done and hold for years. That's been proven. Like, it's crazy. Like, you're telling me that Metroid hasn't been done for a long time? Come on, man.
It looks like it.
It's been done for a long time. They beefed it up for the Switch 2. What we saw was a Switch 2 gameplay. They were just holding it for the right time.
Was it?
When they knew they were going to have a new console. Huh? It was. That was not Switch game. That was Switch. Guaranteed.
Great.
It looked like fucking Halo.
Halo 4, which was a 360 game.
Yeah, yep.
And Halo 4 looks better, honestly, graphics-wise, than what we saw for the trailer.
I was expecting more too when I finally saw it, but again, I'm still excited because it's
it's Metroid. Yeah.
I actually I liked Metroid Prime, so I can't wait. Like, honestly, if I wind up picking up a Switch 2, it'll be one of the first games I buy because I was looking forward to it. Even though I was expecting a little bit more, but it doesn't matter. It's Nintendo. Calorie says, don't forget Game Pass third parties next year. Yeah, exactly. They've got all the deals lined up next year. Yeah, we got Space Marine Bold Alpha this year, which absolutely 1000% on day one. Ultimate Edition Space Marine 2. That is, they put out another video this week about their swarm tech that they developed. Since we're not getting gears for a little bit longer, Space Marine 2 is gonna,
it's funny though. I gotta say this, like, we all, even me included, we always give like EA shit and stuff for like the names they come up with stuff for like the this year we have Boom Tech for like the physics and stuff.
Yeah.
And then everybody, whenever I hear anybody talk about Call of Duty this year, I can't wait for that omnidirectional movement. Yeah. You know, like, oh man, that omnidirectional movement is going to be amazing. Or like, and now like, hey, that swarm tech for all these names for all these like little like things they come up with for like physics or movement or whatever is funny. And we always give EA so much shit for it, but like every company's doing these things. Now powered by Swarm Tech, Space Marine 2, Boom Tech and EA's Madden Football, omnidirectional movement for Call of Duty. Yeah, love it. It's great.
The best one ever though, the real best one though, was Levolution.
Yeah, that would make that's amazing. Levolution is like needs to be like the standard name for every game that has destructible buildings.
Levolution was great. I love that name, and I loved it when they came out. And it was real.
If the landscape changes because of destruction in your game, it should be called Levolution. In fact, actually, they should have named Frostbite Engine the Levolution Engine.
They probably should have, but I like Frostbite. Too bad they didn't.
You like Frostbite because you're from Minnesota and you get it often.
It's true. That is true. Very common around here to get frostbite in the wintertime.
That sucks.
Live with it. So yeah, no, it's fine. Makes you a hardy.
Oh, it makes you hard. Oh, okay.
Not hard.
Oh, I'm just
hardier.
Hardier. Okay.
Yes. Careful.
I was heard cold did the opposite.
What is Spartan 6 is? Spartan 6 is one. So I'm at the decision if the greatest Forza arcade car racing game developer that has 40 million players, can you imagine if they have more because they have the newest Fable game right? I'm at the decision that if the greatest Forza arcade race 40 million players, can you imagine that they will have more because they have the newest Fable?
He's saying that Playground will have more than 40 million players because they'll also have Fable.
Oh yeah. The Playground is legit. Like I said, if they pull off Fable, they got to be considered one of the great top 5 dev studio up there in the world. If they pull off Fable the way that we all think they are going to, and what they've shown gives me the utmost confidence they're going to, They literally went from making a car BG to a classic, taking one of the biggest IPs in Xbox's inventory and bringing it back to life in a new vision and making a full-fledged open world type RPG, like legit Playgrounds, no joke. They're wizards. And I have the utmost faith they're going to. And they took Forza Tech and turned it into Fable Tech. Like, okay. Yeah. An engine made for car racing, and they turn it into something that's producing fucking unbelievable visuals in an open world RPG. Yo.
Yeah, but still keeping that Fable character somehow.
Yeah. Yes. Somehow, somewhere.
Yeah.
Because they brought back a lot of team too, which is awesome. I love when studios do that.
And if it's bad, we'll blame 3-bit.
Yep. Thought experiment. This is from Calorie. If you have a gamer like a game, I'm assuming like Redfall, because Redfall's not a gamer, but maybe there is a gamer out there named Redfall. But we'll just go with game like Redfall that needs. But yeah, right. That needs a release, but it's not scoring well in mock reviews, and even the studio thinks it's not a good game. What would you do to salvage it?
Delay it and tell them to rework what the game is. I think internally
that needs to release.
Why do you say you have to? What is the need to release there though? Like, is it? Yeah. What's the need for? Is it for the?
Okay. I'll keep it simple, Calorie. I'll keep it simple. I put it into early access. That is now acceptable.
Right.
Okay. We've seen so many games do well in early access. I launch it, but I call it early access. And then I work with the community to fix the game. And I keep developing it while I'm going along. Just like Baldur's Gate 3 did to success, massive success, right? Just like we've seen all these other studios do. Grounded, another one. Put it in early access. Don't call it 1.0. It's totally acceptable way to release something that isn't finished right now and build it out and get valuable community feedback that you can use while people are playing the game and continue to develop the game and branch it out. That's exactly what I would do.
If I was a smaller publisher, smaller studio, and I had to because like of funds reasons, then that's what I would do. But like from Microsoft, I don't think they have to do that. You know what I mean? Like they could afford to reset or start over or whatever and push things back, or like they've done it with numerous games before, like in the backgrounds without us ever knowing about it. You know what I mean? So sometimes these games slip through the cracks, I think, for whatever reason. But yeah, if a situation like Redfall, if I had seen it and I was them, I would have been like, okay, we need this. Definitely is like no way should release. So let's just delay it and say that we need to add content, direction, revisit things. But then maybe you get feedback from people and go. I don't know exactly, but like I like the game preview thing for some games. Like the bigger games though, I wouldn't want that for those. Like the big AAA type games that they market as exciting big games to come out. I think those ones, like especially from Microsoft, like they need to launch like big and done. You know.
I mean, it just depends on the situation. It depends on the type of game it is. Like I could have totally seen Redfall launching into early access and building.
Imagine Starfield launching like early access though. You know what I mean?
would have been down for that. I would have been down for that.
Yeah, but like I don't know. I would rather them like.
I just don't mind it. I guess again, it's.
I guess you could just call it early access to get away with shit. You know.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Well, I mean, that's basically what games as a service a lot of times are, right? In a lot of ways. Now, there's different variations. Some games are obviously early access, and some are obviously more advanced when they still launch in early access. But I think it can work, and I think it's been proven that it can work. And again, I understand what you're saying, man. You just want to see 1.0, and you just want to see the full release and just be done with it.
Yeah, I understand updates, and the game's not going to be like complete. You know what I mean? But like, it's a case by case basis, I guess, depending on the game. Like, Redfall is a crazy situation with how it launched. I think
Insomniac needs to launch Wolverine into early access.
It's already
I'm watching
pretty much.
Jasper posted some new leak footage.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet because I'm.
Yeah, it's actually. Oh, I mean, it's better than the rooftop running. I'll say that. This is actual combat. This is massive amounts of combat.
Didn't they lose the creative director on that game or something?
No,
Or
they lost.
some...
They lost they lost the writer,
Oh,
the main writer. She
okay.
moved on, but of course her job's done. I don't know why people made a big deal.
Okay.
Her job's done. It's written. The script's written. Like they're not going to do any massive changes now. They're in full development. So whatever is in the story, they've all agreed upon. So that her job's done. So I didn't see anything big about that, but.
Yeah, Callie says, yeah, but remember Phil said Redfall is what it is and more time won't fix it. Basically what he said. Yeah, but Redfall today is a way better game than it was then. So I don't.
And I disagree. That final patch, I disagreed with that wholeheartedly. Again, I don't agree with everything Phil says. I think that Redfall had a chance to be built out. Had they treated it like a games as a service, the patches they were working on, what they've actually done with the game did. Mav and I had a great time for the 5 hours straight we played it that one day. I think they could have built it out. Right. I think they could have done something with it, but it's not my money. Right. Xbox obviously felt that there was no point. Sometimes you got to make those tough decisions too. I totally admit that I'm the guy who would spend and waste a lot of money and make a lot of mistakes because I would see potential in a lot of shit that probably should never have seen the light of day. Right. So I freely admit that if I was playing around with billions and millions of dollars, I'd probably be pretty bad at it because I would give a lot of shit chances. I just think that Redfall had potential still at the end of the day. There was some really good stuff in there.
Yeah. Now, if you play it now, it's still fun game to play. It's pretty good.
A fun game. There was some stuff in there that they could have built off of. Like there was stuff that was bad, that wasn't working properly, that wasn't done. But I think there was a base to that game that could have eventually maybe turned it around a little bit. But again, is it worth it? Obviously, Xbox doesn't think so. So
it went the way of Concord.
Yeah.
Wait, Concord hasn't happened yet. Sorry, I was looking too far in the future.
Yeah, Concord hasn't happened yet. So, again, the Concord devs today confirmed that everything will be available for the $40, that everything else will be earnable through just playing the game, whether it be cosmetics and all that kind of stuff. So it's a full price game that's giving you everything. Well, not full, it's $40. It's giving you everything up front. So they're going to have 12 maps on launch day, and they're planning on expanding out very shortly after that, both characters and maps. They confirmed that today as well. Again, you've heard my thoughts on Concord. I played it. It's soulless is the best way I can describe it. Mechanically, it's not bad. Mechanically, the shooting is good. Like everything works as it should. Every character is unique from a gun standpoint, from an ability standpoint. Just in this day and age, it doesn't have anything that grabbed me personally. And that's the sentiment most people have that have played the game that are not enjoying it. Now, there is a group of people who are enjoying it. Good for them. Again, not every game's for everybody. I like a lot of games that people think are shit. So whatever. But Concord, in the grand scheme of things, 2,000 players in open beta on Steam. Oof. It's rough, bro.
Yeah. And
Marvel's Rivals had 52,000 concurrent players.
Yeah, quickly.
Yeah. I just don't see it happen for Concord. Could be completely wrong. Maybe they have something better at the end. They're putting out comics. Sony's supporting it for right now. They put out a comic or an anime style cartoon today promoting the characters. Again, the characters just aren't interesting to me. So pure and simple. All right. I think that's it, man. Finally forgot Fallout London to work. Kind of need to change resolution. Right side and bottom are off screen. Good for you, Niternal. Can't wait to start hearing people's thoughts of Fallout London. That did launch today.
Yeah.
The team is also came out today asking Bethesda to help them to get Fallout London to Xbox. Bro, something I thought that they might do. I thought maybe there was a chance before Bethesda did the whole update that they were working with that team to get Fallout London available for Xbox. Obviously, we came to find out that Bethesda basically told that team, yeah, we're releasing a patch. So sorry for all your work. You guys are going to have to figure it out. But I would love to see that happen. For anybody who doesn't know, Fallout London is an expansion of Fallout 4. It is basically an entire expansion. That's how much content made by an independent mod team that just loves Fallout. So go check it out. If you're on PC, you got the ability, you love Fallout 4, go check out Fallout London. If you've never heard about it, looks phenomenal. So I'm going to eventually get it on PC. but I would love to see it come to Xbox for that team.
Yeah.
I think that would be cool.
Absolutely. Man.
All right, everybody, let's get everybody out of here. This is a great show. Again, here's Mav and I with short news week, and we put in 3 hours. This is just how him and I roll, much like Steele and I do Saturdays, except Steele and I go for 5. But we just come in here and talk. We come in here and bullshit. You guys were great tonight. Love you all for being here and all the support. Again, just this is what it's about, man. This is what it's about. Like I said, I've done a whole lot of muting on my timeline. But man, the one thing I look forward to each and every week is coming on these shows and getting to interact with not only the panel, but seeing what the chat's talking about. And you guys were freaking awesome. So love you all for being here. Thanks for joining us for another episode of PM in the PM. Paul and Mav in the PM every Thursday night right here on the Fun Speculation Network. Mav, what do we got going on? Xbox Ultimate tomorrow night?
Yeah.
And you said you're probably going to be streaming some more too. You're going to do Call of Duty, college? What are you going to be doing, bro?
Probably I'm going to finish my career for college football, right? On stream. See what happens in his 4-year tenure. And I'm probably going to stream that on Saturday night, maybe Sunday night as well. Try and pull off a season per stream. Could be interesting. Friday night, tomorrow night, is Xbox Ultimate Podcast. We'll have some fun talking games. Hopefully we get some other kind of news. We'll see what happens. I want something big, exciting to happen, man.
Bad News Friday, Mav.
Yeah, I know. What is that going to be? I wonder. But anyway, we'll see. Yeah. So tomorrow's Xbox Ultimate Podcast, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Back Monday, FSP, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Then here's Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. But always, just stay tuned on Twitter, X. Fun Speculation on there, and you can find out before we go live. We go random stream sometimes for Mavcast, or if there's something crazy that happens, I feel like getting some rants out or whatever, look for that, but also game streams as well. And I'm going to be streaming games more. You may be seeing me stream almost every night, between a podcast or a game. That's just kind of the mood I'm in right now. So stay tuned for that. And what about you, Pong?
Yes, sir. You guys know I will definitely be doing my best to show up tomorrow night, as always. I haven't missed in a while, but I got to keep Fridays get a little dicey. But anyways, I should be there tomorrow night for Xbox Ultimate, of course. And then, of course, Saturday morning, Steel already put it out. So we will be live, raw, and uncut, living split screen, all one word. Where me and my brother Steel, we just talk some more, get the chat involved, bring the chats, conversations in. Never know where we're going to go or what we're going to talk about, but we get it done every Saturday, 4+ hours. Buckle up unless one of us has got something going on. So we start at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central Time. Be there for Living Split Screen. Again, love you all. See a lot of the same familiar faces showing up here that we do over there. But man, love my Saturday mornings too with my brother Steel. And then the Shop Podcast should be back this week. PTK Blam, Fuzzy Belvedere, myself, and usually a guest or two. We took off last week because PTK was doing some fun stuff with the wifey. So we're going to be back this week, though, I imagine. 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central Time. The best way to end your Saturday night is the Shop Podcast on PTK Blam's channel. The next week, it starts all over again. Tuesdays, it's all good things. Green Xbox Factor Podcast. Double Barrel Gaming is the channel. Boomstick is the man. 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 o'clock Central Time. Be there for that. And then, of course, my week starts right here on Thursday nights. Might be a late start next week because it is month end. We will see. I will let Mav know up front so we can get that coordinated. But otherwise, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 o'clock Central Time, right here with another one of my favorite brothers, the one and only Mav. So join us for that. Otherwise, everybody, you know how to find me, Pong Soul, everywhere. It's the golden age of gaming, people. Please get out there and enjoy some of those games. And please, if you got the opportunity, share it out on your favorite social media platform. It does get other people interested in what's going on, and it shows the positivity of this community and that there are real gamers in this community as well who don't just talk about it all the damn time, but actually experience it and live it. So share it out as much as you can, but play what you love. Love what you play, and I'll talk to you all real soon. Again, nothing but love and respect to each and every one of you for coming out and supporting us. Hope you all have a great Friday and a great start to your weekend. Mav, get us out of here, bro.
Have a good one, everybody. Peace out.